glad I suggested that.
Don't go in the spooky forest where we heard spooky noises.
I was just like, well, the forest will provide us more cover.
Yeah, the rest of us were just like, fuck it, YOLO.
Almost dies.
Hey, I didn't almost die. We did fine.
Yeah, we did fine in that fight, yeah.
You did fine.
It was fine,
Almost
it's fine.
And you know, I murdered a bunch of wolves. Or helped murder a bunch of wolves.
That happened, yeah.
You mean massacre?
Funny, the turn later when the adult wolf started talking to you because it could talk. That would have been funny.
Those were sentient fucking
Leave
creatures.
this place. Well, one of them was.
One of them, at least.
Yeah, one of them shouldn't have looked like it was gonna pounce.
Yeah,
Fair.
it did look like it was gonna pounce.
Yeah, it was.
Man.
Bob was like, not today, bitch,
home.
and just Eldritch blasted it into oblivion.
To be fair, you were in its home.
It was willing to defend its home and its family.
It was
Too bad
willing
you
to
were
defend
as
its home and its
well.
family. Tegan, it would have been way funnier if you would have sent the Metro Man
In what?
in your announcement that you were playing.
Fine.
I was like, all I'm saying is that if the wolf wasn't about to attack, it would have been fine. If it was just like posturing, Bob
Why
probably
would it
wouldn't have
not
shot.
attack though? That's the one thing, you know.
Exactly.
I'm gonna
And
make
you know
that a
what?
sticker in my server.
When you're dealing with animals, it's law of the jungle.
I'm bigger
Killed.
in my company, I'm bigger in my factory, I'm bigger in my yeah, that's
Bigger.
all. Oh, this is the YB tankage. I posted the wrong one. Don't worry. Wait. No, wait, I'll send them to the YB Tankachu instead of me. That's funny. There.
Why would you do this?
I didn't mean to.
Why would you shoot yourself in the foot like
I
this?
just copied the last one. Trumpet. Mammoth.
Alright. Trumpet.
Saxophone.
Mammoth.
Shrimp.
Saxophone.
I agree
shrimp.
with the shrimp one.
You know what? I agree with the mammoth.
I don't.
Yeah, well, nobody fucking asked.
Where is this guy?
I've still
Where's our
got
dude?
cheese in my eye.
You got time. You could go shower. Go get a cheese shower.
We are literally 8 minutes into a D&D session.
Yeah. Nazca's not here yet.
Nesca's not
Cheese
here.
shower. What the fuck?
Look, it's a regular shower, but I
But I've got
have
cheese in my eye.
eye.
Wait, what?
Look,
Tegan,
I was
our
making a
mother was
joke.
grating
How?
cheese, and Tegan said, "Grate that in my mouth," and then he leaned his head up over it. Our mother started grating it, and then he moved a little bit, and she didn't stop grating it, so it got everywhere.
No, to be fair, the grater is like all across
The
my
grater
face.
is like
so
the grater
it
is like
literally,
half the
before
size
I
of your
moved,
face, so it did.
so it went all over my face, including in my eyes, around my glasses, into my eyes.
Yeah, sure.
You're just
yeah.
a bunch of chaos cultists in your house, aren't you? Like,
Yeah.
I've got nothing wrong.
Then he licked the counter.
I did.
Mother-
I did do that. There was cheese
Jesus.
on there. I was hungry.
dude, your life sounds like a fever dream.
We don't waste food in this household.
Jesus Christ.
Except those meatballs. We wasted those meatballs.
Yes, grate it into my mouth, mother.
Yes, mother, great. It's
They made
my
meatballs
mouth.
today that literally tasted like the. I don't know how it is that every time my parents make food, it's worse than the last time, but every single time.
I just need to start making food again.
It's just so. It was literally.
I've purchased too
so
much
bad.
Domino's and Subway.
It was
recently.
it was inedible. I almost threw up. when I
Okay,
took
those
one bite of the
meatballs are
meatball.
Subway meatballs.
I'm not late at all. I'm not late at all.
Oh, and the prodigal son
Wait.
returns.
Here he is.
Wait,
I'm not late at all.
Here he is.
wait,
I'm not
Standing
late.
here, I realize.
Wait, everybody took wait
Late.
in chat. Everybody took
Nazca
wait in
is-
Yo,
Zar's
any
chat.
laters? Any laters?
Nazca_late.
Any laters in the chat?
I opened Czar's
I don't even have my
Twitch
I don't
channel.
even
and it's
have
just not
my
even
channel
open. What the
open to
fuck?
see my chat.
I was gonna tell Czar if it was good, but for some reason, Czar, I forgot because it just didn't open. It's just sitting on like a loading screen.
Wait, what?
Give me a sec. Okay, I got an ad. It's gonna load down. I've just been sitting. It's been loading into your channel for the last like 5 minutes. Didn't actually connect. It's fine. Our internet's just unacceptably bad. It's fine.
I can see all of the pictures here. They all look fine, and the text looks legible.
Yeah, you can read everything, and it's
illegible.
As far as I can tell.
It's trash.
Oh shit.
Oh god, I can hear myself.
I'm so big. I'm so YB.
And you're a Pikachu?
I mean, yeah, that was the default dimensions of your character. Yes.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I did purposely widen him while I was making him.
Wide Pikachu.
All right, now what to name the stream?
What did I name mine?
I mean, I just named mine
Frozen
progress.
Tower every hour.
I just said progress period maybe question mark.
Degree knife versus ice dungeon.
Yeah.
Mine's just Frozen Tower every hour.
I think that's a reasonable title. And then
how many towers do we find, Tristan?
Your mic is broken.
I take them. Give me 1 second.
What gives you feelings of power? Saying I can't wait take it first when you find a magic item in D&D.
I can't wait to use my new Warlock powers for evil.
I can't wait to see me. I can't wait to be angry at you for committing crimes.
I can't wait to use my amygdala to do naughty crimes. Haha.
Snake
brain. I mean, to be fair, I can probably persuade anyone to do mostly anything without saying a word out loud because of the fact I'm telepathic now.
I will not compromise my morals.
Oh, God, it's another one of Tegan's characters.
I will not have another Algernon.
I will not be Algernon. Tegan had a session of D&D where he didn't roll under 30 a single time.
Jesus Christ.
Look, dice gods be dice gods. They be giving me 19s and 20s and that's it.
And you be giving them head.
No.
Cannot confirm nor deny this information.
I'm mildly concerned now.
Look.
Dude,
the dice
we got
gods
the
are my dice gods, alright?
We need the dun 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 song because it's
a give and receive with the dice gods, alright? The mare's leg, she bucks and she broncos, you know what they say.
How's the bot, Nazca?
Halfway through the campaign.
It's probably dead.
Yeah, I haven't touched the AWS.
Halfway through the campaign and we still don't have the bot that was the whole reason we were doing the campaign.
Oh my god, Nazca.
Yeah, maybe one day.
One day we will have a
everybody
usable
type
bot.
Nazca_bot in the chat.
Nazca_bot. Yo, any botters in chat?
Naxca_bot.
Naxpa_spot.
Oh, this is probably why I'm lagging. It's probably because of like 5 streams open. Like
Yo,
actually open.
That'll probably do it.
Any botters in chat? Am I right, streamers?
Any bottoms
I was lurking. I leave a bunch of streams open.
Are there any bottoms in chat?
When I'm at work to lurk.
PogChamp.
Can I get some frog champs in chat?
No.
Why don't
absolutely
you have a frog champ
botters.
emote? So yeah.
I wish I had a frog champ emote.
Yo,
I would be nothing but happy.
Why don't you guys have a pet frog?
We try.
Because they're more expensive than fish, and if we get money, I actually do want a pet frog.
He does. He wants like 8 of them.
Well, no, I sent you all the options of frogs that are capable of living in the area.
He wants the African screaming frogs.
I do. I want the rain frog that goes. Ah!
Jesus.
It's Chaos House here. I live in a streamer house, but it's just my family.
I already said that.
You did. You said that during dinner.
I said that at dinner. I was like, this is a fucking streamer house, but it's just our parents.
Exactly.
My dad's over there talking about the big lie while my mom pours fucking cheese on my fucking brother's head.
Oh my god.
I don't know what to say.
I just like
frog
cheese.
Champ.
It was Guatio cheese.
Hello, Slipnir. Hello, milk eggs. It's time. It's
hey,
almost
Slipnir.
time.
Oh, hello, Slipnir.
Twitchpaign is
hi, random.
not a. I don't have that.
Twitchpaign is not
you guys-
official fan content endorsed or accepted by Wizards of the
No,
Coast
I have
LLC.
it. I just have to go get it.
We are not
I got it.
at all endorsed by Wizards of the Coast LLC.
Yeah, no way in fuck do we have that sponsorship.
You guys know.
However, we are
the whole thing
sponsored
about that
by
thing, we
Jacko
don't have to
Snackos.
say it. It's just nice to say.
Maybe they'll Senpai
It's
will notice us
implied.
if we
Using
say it.
their content implies that I have read and agreed to that little thing. You know,
How is
which-
everyone doing? Nazca's late, Czar's early,
My tummy
Tristan's
hurts.
still just feeling like shit.
I'm not
and
sick.
doing
I just
alright.
feel like shit now.
I know,
It's
right,
like my life is like a roller coaster that only goes down.
Also, thank you for the 6-month resub, Nazca.
You're welcome. Anytime, Poppy Czar. Something
Don't
like
make
that.
it weird, man. You don't gotta make it
I'm
weird.
the Ace of Ham. I'm the Dungeon Daddy. How are you, Tegan?
Hi, I'm Tegan, and I'm Rogue Blades, and this is a running joke that I'm going to continue.
Hi, Rogue Blades.
There will be no frog emote until there's a frog.
Frog champ,
Okay, Nazca, your turn.
I mean,
you are truly weird.
Tegan
champ.
has a bunch of frog 3D printed.
I just need to fucking go
That's
into.
true.
I just need to go into Blender sculpting and just
Nazca,
sculpt
who
it.
are you? Tell the people.
Hello, I am Roxanne Johnson. And...
Yeah. Okay. Czar, who
Czar?
are you?
Hi, I'm CzarBeefCake, and I am playing Robert Bob Lynn, the former goblin, who is now a lizard folk. I was attempting to recenter this goddamn text thing for Nazca, and it's not working.
Ha, good luck.
I'm sorry to hear it. Twitchpaign is unofficial fan content printed under the fan content policy, not approved or endorsed by Wizards. Portions of the materials used are property of Wizards of the Coast. Copyright Wizards of the Coast LLC. Thank you. That's
Please
all.
read this aloud before every session.
Alright, there we go.
We should
Anyone
add
have
that,
anyone have any interesting updates that have developed since we
like, in game or in real life.
yeah.
Yeah.
I simped over a hand yesterday.
You simped over a hand? What?
You actually did. You actually did send some very risque comments while I was cleaning the fish tank.
Yeah, Tristan was. I happened to tune in at the right time when Tristan was cleaning his
This is
fish
a
tank and like had his
podcast.
hand inside the tank. So I was just simping for the hand, saying, "Oh my gosh, I've never been jealous of vegetation before. Oh,
Jesus.
I wish he rubbed me that way, like he's rubbing that grass."
Sweet
This
baby
is
Jesus,
just a
Nazca.
podcast now.
Oh, I could read all my messages. Hand,
No, don't
gotcha.
do
What's
that.
that plant with me? Wary, hand, ugh, I can't. Oh boy, it's everywhere.
Speaking of
gosh
that,
dang it.
go to the
Now I
YB
gotta
Tank
clean this up. Thanks a lot, hand. Oh my,
Why we
the
take you
hand-
to watch
the
fish
hand's dripping
around.
wet, so moist.
and
Ugh,
also my
look at
hands
those
sometimes
fingers
when I
go.
clean the tank.
So nice. How's it petting the grass? I've never been so envious of a plant.
Yeah, that happens.
Y'all like Heroescape?
Yeah, it's pretty
Yo, we're
alright.
gonna play HeroSkip one of these days.
I mean, I've never played it. At least I don't think I have.
Imagine
Come on.
Warhammer, but it's got D&D rules for how the stuff.
I'm not sure
works.
if I like or hate that.
You
like,
just
there's-
don't need like a.
Warhammer, but there are tiles, so you don't need a fucking ruler to play the game.
I mean, I
Oh.
kind of like carrying around the the tape roll and just, you know.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Do
yeah.
you like how
It's
I
kinda cool.
dance? I have zirconium
My
pants.
tum-tums kind of so.
Because then the retractable measuring tape, like, you get to
whack people with
let it go or whack people.
You get
Yeah.
You get to mess with
Yeah,
people.
when someone's being naughty, you take out the ruler and you smack their hands.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know
you
about
do
that
that.
one, Chief.
Yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
called me Big Chief.
Nazca wishes he was that hand.
No, I wish I was a plant
Nazca wishes
that the hand was manhandling.
he was Big Chief.
Yeah, you wish you were Big Chief.
Yeah, I like how I said progress maybe, and we're 20 minutes in and have
Yeah.
done nothing.
That's fine. Nazca wasn't here for the first 10.
That's fair. That's entirely fair.
We've got
So we're
Okay.
still within the bullshit budget
we've
when you
got
think
5
about
more
it.
minutes of bullshit.
In a
budget.
way, we're still within the bullshit budget. In a way, we still have 25 minutes, because technically we don't even start till 7:15, except that we switched to starting at 6:30. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
You are
I
truly weird, champ.
don't know what time it is anymore.
Time
What's-
is relative,
Does
man.
anyone even know what time it is? Does
Let me
anyone
get my notes up. You want to play D&D?
Nah.
What's the name of the song?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a Chicago song.
Yeah, let's play D&D.
Yo.
I'm down for D&D.
Yo.
Does
Do you
anybody
like how I
really know
dance?
what time it is?
I know what time it
It's
is.
6:51
As
p.m.
I was walking down
fucking
the
D&D
street
time.
one day,
That's what time it is.
a man came up to me and asked me what the time was that was on my watch. Yeah, and I said,
Hey, bruv, you got
does
the time.
anybody really know what time it is?
Okay.
Does
Yeah.
anybody really care?
I
Yeah, it's
know.
half
If
past
so, I
6.
can't
I
imagine
wonder if I
why.
globally mute Nazca
We've all
if
got
their icon
time
will
enough
disappear
to
from
cry.
Twitch.
Actually, if
I
you
wish.
globally
God,
mute
I wish.
Nazca will just disappear from Twitch.
Yeah, and it's like, you know,
It's like
you know
it's
how
a
like
fucking
babies
voodoo
don't have
doll.
object permanence, and whenever like they play peekaboo,
Yeah.
they just dematerialize. That's me.
You're
Yeah,
a voodoo
they
doll.
do actually cease existing.
I cease existing quite frequently, actually.
Let's play Dungeons and Dragons now.
Play
Okay.
Dungeons and Daddies.
Open RP.
I'm a piece
When
of
we-
grass.
No. When we last left off, having traveled for very long, trudging sadly and coldly into
For so long.
the depths of the Whispering Isles, you met with a ghost who
Oh, so
brought
that's
you
why
to...
they call it that.
Because it whispers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Man,
Glad you guys finally got there.
we're learning some deep lore today.
That's deep lore. Yo, you actually are learning deep lore today, but this is not the deep lore you're learning.
All right, we've learned all the deepest lore we can. Session's
So,
over.
Oh my god. Okay, well. You met a ghost who brought you to Albritha's camp, a frozen over small township almost with a strange machine in the middle of it. You explored the machine and discovered a secret hatch behind it that led you into a secret little, like, icy meeting room of sorts, where you found a teleportation circle that, coming through it, was a little goblin woman named Old Lynn, who you, upon, entering into combat with and then exiting combat with quickly after, learned had been taken over by a fey spirit, who then, after a bit of shenanigans, like half hired you, half pleaded with you to go and
Not really
see
pleaded.
why a bunch of her ghosts she'd been sending up north had been just not coming back. And the hope was that there would be a spire of the elemental plane of ice in that area that you could possibly find.
She kind of just mentioned it, and we're like, yeah, we'll go.
Yeah, she was prepared to beg, but she just mentioned it. You guys had already walked out the door and were leaving, so
It's like, oh, it's over there. You got it.
I mean,
With
come on,
that in
it's
mind-
family. You help out family.
How about family?
It's
family.
family that's been taken over by a fey spirit.
Family.
You help out family that's been taken over by a fey spirit.
Still family.
That's family.
They seem to have some sort of a, amicable relationship with each other. The only fear was that I was going to get murdered by the Fae, who turned out to be a buddy. So,
Yeah,
family.
that's fine. Fey bets be like that. Be like that
It
sometimes.
really do be like
Never,
that.
never
sometimes.
give your
Really
name
do
to a
be.
fae.
Instead, through the power of puns, I have a new friend and family member.
Yeah. And also Zar the
Lizard.
goblin got turned into a lizard folk. That happened.
Yes.
Sorry, the
Snake
goblin,
brain.
the lizard man.
Snake brain.
Snake brain.
Woo! The
And-
amygdala.
Though the new art is modeled after a
I'm
Komodo
gonna
dragon.
sneeze. Oh no.
Bless you.
Oh no.
Or not,
Sneeze
the plague is
again.
spreading.
I don't
Sneeze
want to be
again.
sick again. With that in mind, the party frog, as we've been calling you, you traveled north along the coast of this frozen hellscape until you crossed over some crevasses of ice, over some treacherous lands,
Down
and
a
finally
slope.
you came into the upper islands of the Whispering Isles. Still an ever-present psychic whispering energy in the back of your mind, slowly trying to drive you insane, and the area itself attuned with the plane of ice, trying to freeze you solid. It started to hail, and then it started to hail bigger, and then the hailstones started to have spikes on them. So you carved out a little area using your
place to call my own.
Using your bonfire spell. You carved out a little area behind a rock into some ice and took yourselves a rest. So, I think with that in mind, as your rest is coming to an end, obviously you guys can get a short rest if you want to, and there's still... you might have already. There's still a few hours of light left in the day, and as you finish up your short rest, the hail starts to subside as well after a couple hours, and you are able to proceed without being buffeted by
massive ice
hail
balls.
morning stars.
Yeah, without the shit getting murdered out of us.
I definitely do not like the shit getting... I'm on the wrong voice. 1 second.
Bro,
I need to recalibrate myself.
Did you just wake up? Your voice is a bit deeper.
It do be happening like that sometime.
Yeah.
It do be.
Yeah, it kind of happens when you wake up. Morning voice, I get you.
Yes, quite dangerous for folks like me.
Yeah, ones who try to fake and hide their identity.
Quite party frog, if you will.
Shut the fuck up, voice in my head.
Agreed.
All right, well, once we're free, I guess we keep moving.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
You step out of your little ice cabin that you've carved yourselves, and you
Or igloo.
look around still to see. Unlike before, where there's every once in a while there's snow, but mostly the area is just so cold that like it's hard for it to snow often. Even it's just
Cold.
constant. The air is just freezing onto the ground. All the water particles in the air, leaving just this coat of ice covering everything. And what's it called? Hoarfrost, the like spiky ice crystals that grow on top of ice. Just that stuff covering pretty much every surface. And now the area around you, and as you look off in the distance, just clamored and clacked with these hailstones. Some of them like sticking into the ice. Some of them just covering different parts in mounds of them.
How's the foliage doing? If there is any.
There is not, from what you can see, any foliage. There are no plants in any direction.
How's the foliage doing? No.
It's not doing.
We're on a farm.
Yeah, you are on a farm. It's time.
An ice
this-
farm.
This is what Bob is somehow managing to play on a bagpipe.
That is
as they
talent
move.
right there. That is talent.
That is.
Man, that sounds like a band.
So where are you heading after you get out of this? Are you continuing along the coast?
Tristan,
Towards
go
of
deeper.
course, we need to find the North Pole.
Yeah, I was thinking about going like this direction, just like straight ahead.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out, seeing as
the
how
map-
this is like flat tundra.
The map
If we
looks
go
like
up
it
any
wants us to go
further, we'll be
left.
back in Firekite.
That'd be kind of hot.
If we go left far enough, we'll make it all the way to the right side of the map.
Exactly.
We'll exit the
That's
spur.
true, though.
Well, assuming that Tristan's world isn't flat.
Oh,
Tristan,
it's flat. It's
Tristan's
not
a flat earther?
It's not flat.
I always knew you were a flat earther.
his world
I
got
can tell by your
curves.
mom.
I'm going to depict you as a soy Wojak.
No.
Anyway, I think we've all mutually decided that we left.
You
We are
begin to
going
wander
left.
into the not mountainous region of this area. Skirting along the side of the mountain you're already on for the rest of the day. You venture forth. And I think in a general sense, the day continues. Having hailed out most of the humidity in the sky, there is now very little cloud cover, and while it is still below freezing for 98% of the time, there are a few moments of bursts of the sun coasting down, giving you moments of respite from the freezing air.
Dude, I just can't with this banjo music. I
can't?
really can't.
You don't like the banjo music?
It's just so
Bob's-
distracting.
Bob's rocking it. Bob is rocking it right now. Here, we need intense combat music. Oh yeah, you guys are slowly going insane. Let's do that one.
Oh wow, I just realized you learned how to use the bot.
I did.
Wow, impressive. A working bot. And you did not. I got you. Oh. Oh, did you take away my admin?
No, I did not. I haven't touched anything.
Oh, okay.
No, I actually haven't touched anything. That wasn't sarcasm.
No, I believe you.
Alright, so yeah, this portion is where the ghosts went missing, basically, right?
Yeah, somewhere up here, the ghosts have gone missing.
Alright, well, take a look. If we need to go into the mountains, we will, but I'm hoping
Ice
it's
dungeon,
just
ice
on the
dungeon.
flat ground.
I would love to take a look around here, see if I can see if I can spot anything in the distance.
Perception, survival.
Ice dungeon.
I would love a perception
What
check
kind of
right
checks
now.
would you like to make?
Ice dungeon. Ice dungeon.
I am making a perception check, DM.
I'm going
Making
to
a persuasion check.
12.
yeah, I'm going to pull up Roxanne and use my familiar to help me get advantage.
Yes.
That's what they're made for.
Ice dungeon. Ice dungeon.
You see Bob he's like looking out, holding his hand over his eyes to look further, and on his back, snaking its tail like around part of Bob's neck and like standing off the back of Bob, looking out the opposite direction of him. You have the little bear holding his claw above his head as well, and they're both looking out in opposite directions.
A little pseudo dragon bear.
What's your checks?
I got a nat 20.
Damn.
I didn't do anything.
That's okay.
I'm just going
You're
along.
just vibing.
Ice dungeon to the banjo music that Bob's playing.
Well, Bob, as you are looking around, you can see as well with Rogue and others looking around. In a few different directions, you can see signs of something that used to be in this land. There are almost small, as you're walking this way and you look down in this direction towards the like coast, you can see like small, what looked like at some point there must have been fishing shacks along the coast, or at least what was once the coast here, that kind of dot along the way. They are almost entirely destroyed, and what little bits are left of them are just these pieces of long wooden debris that kind of partially form the shape of a house in some places, and in some places are just crumbled to the ground and mostly frozen over. And you notice those on this side of the coast. And with a natural 20, you see that they seem to get, well, with a 23, not even that hard to see, but 23, you definitely notice along the way there is a like densening of the frequency of houses in this direction. Like there was at some point some sort of like village, town, or even city in this area that has been long frozen over.
Well, gentlemen, gentleman and lady, I should say.
Ice dungeon.
There's looks like there's signs of civilization out this way.
Ice village.
Ice village, ice village.
Indeed.
Ice village.
I
stop by the,
I say we explore the village.
It might have nice place to sleep that night.
You know, it could just as easily be filled with undead like we found in the woods.
Then more murder.
I have no
Wow,
qualms
you're
with setting
bloodthirsty.
the undead to rest.
Then more murder.
I
I
have
don't
no
get you. I
qualms
don't
with
get your
setting the
point,
undead
Bob.
to rest.
I'll say Bob with a nat 20. Looking into this area, you don't see anything moving.
Okay.
There's no
Almost
like figures moving between buildings or anything.
It's
There's
almost
just
like it's frozen.
this.
Do I spot anything that might resemble an elemental like spire of ice that we're looking for?
You see that on this direction, up towards the mountains, there is a what would you call it? There are sections of the mountains where there are larger, like crystalline structures of ice growing out, and you see at the base of the mountain, just barely at like the edge of your vision, probably walking till night to get there. You see there is a like almost like a stone dome in the side of the mountain that's like frosted over, and that I'd say that's the most interesting and strange thing you can see in the city itself.
Okay. Well, we could go explore the city and possibly loot, or we can check out that weird ass dome over there.
It is like it's outside of the city, but like you could go through the city to get there, or you could skirt around the mountains and avoid the city if you wanted.
Which way would be
we
quicker?
Might as well go through the city. We might be able to find some
Yeah.
shelter to camp for the night.
I
Yeah.
too would love some place that could keep warmer
Sleep.
than me clothes.
Sleep, and then we'll have be wide awake to explore the stone dome.
Ice
Yes.
dome.
Ice dome,
I thought
ice
you said it
dome.
was stone.
It is stone,
With ice
kind
on
of
it.
frosted over, but
It's
The
the
frosty
stone dome.
Stone dome.
stone dome.
Stone dome,
It
where
be
they
a
burn
stone
ceremonial herbs every April 20th.
Stoned dome.
Yeah.
Human size. Oh my gosh, I just remembered.
They call it the Red Eyes Stone
At
Dome.
break, there was an Amber Alert, and I was so confused on why the victim was 2 feet 5 inches. It's like, why are they so short?
Yes.
Because it's a child in Nazca.
I didn't, after I said it out loud, and the people next to me, because like it's an Amber Alert for children, I was like, oh wait, that makes sense.
Nazca, you
That's
are
literally the thought that went through my brain.
the
is, why is
things
the
that your brain
why is
thinks
the
up,
victim so
Nazca, they're
small?
Marcus,
unbelievable.
you go into the closet in the streamer house.
This person is playing the objectively smartest member of our party. I just want to point that out.
Look, smart doesn't mean wise.
I just know stuff. Like Amber Alerts are for children.
Anyway, y'all want to head to the north? Y'all want to go to the north?
Aye, let's
Yes.
go to the north. Let's start walking. I'm gonna start walking now, DM.
I start
DM,
walking.
I'm going to start walking now.
Okay, you begin to
Yeah,
walk
I'm gonna roll a performance
towards
check for
the
walking.
city. You enter into like the outskirts of
Unnatural
what was
20
once.
performance check for walking.
You walk like a saint, like a goddess,
You don't walk,
Adonis.
Nazca.
like a
You
golden
strut.
goddess.
I
Yeah,
thought you were gonna say you
strut.
float because it's like
You
I
s-
can
you
fly.
strut your stuff. You slink your slimy little slithery toes into this city. Yeah, you heard
Around the
me.
city.
I
And then
did.
in getting into the city,
Battle map.
you can see as you get closer, the houses are mostly toppled over. There are a few structures that are like parts of them are still standing, but most of them is toppled over and otherwise broken. Yeah. Are you looking for anything in particular, or just skirting through the city to see if there's any houses that are
Just see what's here.
have a roof essentially to hide under?
Just look at how it looks and try to figure out like what each building is and the
Okay.
structural
Uh,
integrity of it.
I'd say yeah. Let's do investigation or survival check
Can I
from
use new knife
whoever's
to help?
checking
like,
out. Yeah,
to
you can.
check
Your
I-
knife goes around
fire
to it
I-
and
I'll
pries up some wood and stuff for you to look at.
Natural
you wanna-
20, 23.
Oh,
Ooh.
they're gonna know all my secrets.
Yeah.
Tell me
Hand
the
over your
secrets of this
secrets
town.
now.
Nazca, you are looking through stuff along with your knife, and as the party is going up through this small frozen over town. You're kind of looking through some shacks and getting into the deeper parts of the city and looking through areas. You find a couple things, I'll say. There are lots of, amongst like the rubble of this city, there are bones and formerly decaying bodies in some places. They're no longer decaying because they are frozen over and there's nothing growing on them to decay them.
Makes sense.
So they're just kind of left frozen over.
Can I tell
mostly.
what they are?
There's no magic bacteria.
They are elves. You can see pretty clearly the like cartilaginous, and some of the bodies are not fully decayed, and you can see the ears. They are some type of elf, very pale skin, tall, most of them, long.
So I
ears.
can't really tell like what type of elf, just that they are an elf.
You can make a history religion. You make a history or religion check if you want to
play history. 18.
Okay. You get the feeling these were probably either moon or sun elves. It's hard to tell with their moon and sun elves look very similar. First of all, the main difference between them is kind of more who they worship rather than like their looks in most cases.
I think the main difference is whether they're nocturnal or not.
Yeah, that's why. It's whether or not you have to put UVB in their terrarium, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I prefer UVC.
They're not in the light often enough, so they don't need the UVB to keep their bones strong. Yeah.
I got my bones.
You get me. Yeah. I'll say among the bodies of some of them, just with them, like they were holding it when they died or otherwise, some of the members of this area are holding tridents.
3 trident.
Long metal, 3-pronged forked spears.
I'd take one.
Okay. You get yourself a very, very old trident.
That's one of them old
anything
tridents.
in particular, or would I have to investigate use a spell on it?
The tridents seem to be made probably out of iron. You would figure. They're not necessarily magical. They don't feel magical as you pick them up. They're just like it seems to have been something that many of the people of this area seem to have used as
Would there have been enough heat here to start a rust reaction, or would they be rusted, or I don't know how that works. The tridents
themselves are. It is. So there's lots of water here, but it's frozen, and the stuff that causes rust is a bacteria that uses water and heat to cause rust. So I'm gonna say there's probably very, very little, if any, rust on these tridents.
And iron rust.
Today I learned rust is a bacteria.
Weather.
But is it enchanted with loyalty?
Why is rust in common?
Nah, these tridents never enchanted with
Moisture is one of the
loyalty.
party special affairs. During the winter, the weather usually takes a turn for the worse, and this usually means there's more moisture in the air from all the rain and snow.
Are you reading about
in
rust?
the air? There is moisture in there. It's just below freezing, so I'm not necessarily certain the stuff that causes rust.
Can metal rust below freezing?
Tristan, you need to know this. This is very important information. This is very.
I might already know this.
No corrosion at temperature below 0 degrees.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Proposed to lower the minimum temperature stated in the standard.
Is it below 0 Celsius or below 0 Fahrenheit?
Like for something to corrode and rust iron, like for it's not just bacteria, right? It's different things that are like it's the iron is being eaten away both by moisture in the air, which slowly like does it, and then bacteria performing things kind of speed up that process.
Is it below 0 Kelvin?
It's below 0 Kelvin here. Yeah, it's below freezing.
It was below 0 Kelvin.
That's below absolute 0 if it's below 0 Kelvin.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Celsius. No, it's not below 0 Kelvin.
Below 0 Kelvin.
Negative 3,000 Kelvin.
It's
at freezing
-273
temperature,
degrees
usually
Celsius.
will be, what the heck? Let me see this stupid.
Guys, I'm pretty
answer.
sure in the grand scheme of things, we can just
No.
assume that no rust has occurred on these
Method of
things.
forcing black, not red rusted
Yes,
form on steel by freezing them in container of water. I do not know.
So DM, what is
There shouldn't be rust on these things. There should not be rust on these things.
Bar steel will not rust if
Even though you feel like this town, I will say the like
no,
with
they
the
won't have
natural 20
rust.
So with the natural 20 investigation of looking through this stuff too,
There's your short, by the way.
the
just
clothing, the clothing, the items, the like stuff that everything is made out of here, the like even like the structures that are still partially built and not fully destroyed, like looking at it, these are archaic structures and archaic forms of clothing, archaic weaponry.
Like
this stuff is old. This stuff is
as if they were first discovering magic and then they tried to do magic thing and it caused a giant freeze over.
I don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
There is such a thing as elven.
This stuff is
magic.
old, as in like.
Can I tell how old it is?
As in the elves that were making this were not. They were not like in the same like high magic civilization that a lot of elves are nowadays.
What dynasty is this
from?
Like
what
this
era
is
they are dressing from, based off the stitching pattern and the folds of the clothes.
Based on
this town,
how their
this
people,
town was
can I
frozen
figure
over
out what
thousands
the
of
last
years ago.
meal was?
This town was frozen over thousands of years ago.
Can I
and this
open up
place
its
has been
stomach to cause
relatively
the
untouched
flies?
in that
Can
time.
I figure out the cause of death by performing an
Probably
autopsy? And do I get a advantage because I'm using my knife?
There, make a medicine check.
What's the advantage because I'm using my knife to like cut
It's
open
actually blunt force trauma and hunger.
13.
Yeah. Make a medicine check.
The very
There
hungry
is pretty clearly frostbite. Like some people in this area died of exposure, right? Like it suddenly got so cold that they died quickly. There are a few bodies you find amongst houses, especially the more destroyed houses, that are like they were killed. Like they froze instantly. Like their body is like
Can
like
I use
flash
this to
frozen.
locate the epicenter? Find where they flash frozen. Is there like a freezing pattern, like how if there's coming from a point?
I'm gonna say sort of. It seems like there's like a pattern, right? Like there's a couple. It seems like there's a couple places that there were like waves of cold that came from, right? So like there's a couple places where you find a body that was clearly like flash frozen, and then you find another one that's kind of like arced with it, and if you were to draw a semicircle, that it'd be able to send you off in different directions. But it seems like there's a couple different directions those are coming from. I'll say the main area around here that would feel like it's an epicenter is that stone like dome that is like a couple miles away from you right now. You can pretty easily see that there's kind of like a curve of bodies that like that are clearly on one side of it, and then as you look off in the direction of where that would go, you see that dome.
Intriguing. I go back to the party. Well, guys, according to my calculations, the bodies seem to have been frozen over by a flash cold, and some of them have been instantly frozen. And if my calculations are correct, the epicenter would appear to have come from the stone dome over there. This is quite intriguing. It's almost like it's an arcane village as I tried to dabble in magic. We're like starting and trying to figure stuff out, and
Roxanne?
accidentally caused an ice plane opening, flash freezing a bunch of them instantly, kind of like a nuclear bomb,
Roxanne.
but it was
Roxanne?
cold.
Roxanne.
Type of setting from the stone thing. So the stone place is probably some sort of magic
Should
center.
I-
Is the weird
should I
voice
knock?
weirding you out too,
Should I
Sarah?
knock on like?
Why
I
is she
originated
talking?
from-
Like,
I don't know.
Yeah,
why
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
talking
Like,
that.
why is
It's
she
like,
talking like that? Like,
while
Why
that
is
is
she using
happening,
that tone?
Rogue, you are
We
also
haven't
sort
even
of-
gotten to the 90s or the 80s.
Rogue and Bob,
so
while
we
you
wouldn't
two are
even
looking-
know about
Right.
detectives. So like,
It's very
While you two are with her and stuff
interesting.
too. Rogue, you notice as well around one of the bodies they're in like a sort of a, you know, like a shepherd's like cloak, like they have a shepherd's cloak on trident on their back. You see there is a little bit of like shiny material hanging around their neck, like they have something under the cloak that has like a necklace.
could I possibly? Oh, well, I don't want to touch it outright because, you know, dead body. But can I like nudge it and see if it falls out of the cloak?
Sure. What are you nudging it with?
Well, I was gonna assume my foot, but I might as well. Look, I don't use this enough, so pull of collapsing, collapsed. I'm just gonna poke at it.
Yes, you poke at it a little bit. You kind of shuffle this body around. It's mostly bone. You can see this body was like
It's been
shorn in
thousands of
half
years.
almost by something.
Yeah, I don't
there
think
are
they're coming
parts of
back
it-
from
there's-
that one.
There's like half of the body, like the left half of the body, like the fingers of the left hand are fully intact but frozen and like frostbitten. And then there's like less and less structurally sound skin as you go across, and right when you get to about the halfway point, there's no longer skin and there's just like ligaments and bone and muscle. And then as you get further to the other side, there is just bone, and then there is whiteness, and then by the time you get to the right hand, there is just like destroyed, disintegrated.
Good.
like,
I'm getting a
material.
striptease from a fucking dead guy. Can we get back to the
Um,
amulet and not the dead
you-
person?
It's disturbing. It's
It
disturbing to
is!
poke around it.
It is.
And as you poke around, you can see like parts of it kind of falling off and flaking off from the thousands of years that they have not been interacted with.
A pirate
kind of
would never
poke
take
into this
anything without
kind of-
someone's consent.
You kind of get there is a you kind of shuffle away the like disintegrating cloth on the front of this guy and pull it forward to reveal around the neck of this this man elf
Humanoid.
humanoid.
There you go.
Around his neck there is a like gold and silver chainlet with an amulet of a dolphin on the bottom. As
Man,
the actual
That's all
necklace.
funny.
That's a gross body, Bob says right before licking his own eyeball with his lizard tongue.
It freezes to your eye. Make a constant.
No, not like this.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
To be fair, Lesser Restoration can cure the blinded status effect, so maybe it can regrow my eye.
I wish.
No, you're good. You're good. Your tongue is warm, right? So when it hits your eye, it's warm. It doesn't freeze instantly.
It's like
Yeah, no, I
licking a
figured.
cold bowl of ice.
If your tongue was cold, though,
Oh
you'd
my
be-
god,
you'd be
if you
fucked.
lick the collapsing pole, you get stuck to it.
Yes,
You want to try it, Rogue?
exactly.
No.
My tongue shoots out like a
Habit
fucking gecko
badger.
and gets attached to the pole.
Have a good
Can I
day,
like
Happy
try
Badger.
and like scoop my
I just go over and grab it and hand it to Rogue, saying, "Just be a man, Rogue."
Oh, no. Roxanne, you go up to them as Rogue is investigating this body.
1 sexist, 2 ew.
Are you? So Roxanne, you yank this chainlet with the dolphin amulet on it, and you see there is this loud like as the neck of
The
this guy
neck
like
just-
pulls up for a second and then cracks in half, and then the head of this guy kind of hits the ice and slides away, and the body topples. And Roxanne, you are holding an amulet now.
Can I tell? I'll just cast Identify quickly on it and see what it is.
This is a spellcasting focus. an amulet. It is not magical. It's magical in the sense that you can use it to cast magic as a spellcasting focus, but it's not like it doesn't have any other inherent magical properties. It's a spellcasting focus to the god Seychelles, also known as Deep Seychelles, the goddess of the sea.
Okay, so they're moon elves. No, they're sea elves. Wait, they're not sea elves. But I know which one.
They're
the-
water-touched
Elves of all types will worship her. She's like a goddess of travel and like like a lighthouse, like the matronly protection of a lighthouse that leads you back into shore. That's kind of Deep Seychelles' kind of
Can
thing.
I have that?
Sure. It doesn't have any magical properties, so you won't get cursed.
I hope not.
Hey, not all curses are a bad thing. Just saying.
Not all bad things are a curse.
Hashtag not all curses, am I right?
Interesting.
This is
I mean,
such a
look at me.
strange-
I'm gorgeous.
I won't deny that.
He's so beautiful.
Anyways, can we find? Is there any places that seem like would be good shelter for the night?
If you want a fully domed place, there is Rock Dome. If you want an area that just has a roof, there are a few buildings that were like 2-story that are now, like
1 story.
0.5 story, where there was like an eighth of the like roof is still intact of the first story.
Well,
And
you know
can,
what?
like, huddle under that if you want.
We already camped in a couple of really questionable locations. I say we bed down inside of Stone Dome.
I want to go.
I do want to search the Stone Dome. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think I can wait all night. I want to know what's in there.
Okay, but so we've cleared out everything.
I'm
There's like
curious
nothing
as hell.
interesting. Like, from the bodies, I can't get like any gold.
Okay, so you already made an investigation check and rolled a nat 20. So yeah, you start investigating some of the bodies. Let's do it. Let's look through them.
Any loot? Yeah, the
You start
important question is, do we
looting.
get loot?
You
Yeah,
start
we gotta
looting
loot the
these
bodies.
corpses.
Yeah, loot the bodies. How many
the
bags of
bodies,
tridents
loot
do I
the
get?
You loot the corpses. There are dozens and dozens of old, like
Knick-knack.
some shabbily made, some very finely made tridents. You find 50 gold pieces and 40 silver pieces worth of
I'll take that down.
gold and silver
50
in people's
gold,
pockets.
gold and 50 silver.
It's
40
crudely
silver.
made. It's crudely made coins as well. They're kind of like like the like old ship coins you find where they're not like a perfect circle, and they've got like a print mark on them, like they were made out of like a stamp.
And smash down.
So are
Yeah.
they worth the same, or should I mark?
Yeah,
them
they're
as
worth the
different?
same. They're gold coins. They're
Alright.
just.
Should I add it to the party loot, or is that just loot that you're taking?
I'm just taking this for myself. I was searching.
Oh.
Alright.
Oh, you guys didn't want to touch
what
the
are-
bodies.
As you guys kind of travel
I
through this
didn't.
area,
I just wasn't looting.
What are Bob and Rogue doing? I guess as well as
Stone
you're kind
Dome.
of going through pockets and stuff. You're walking closer towards the stone dome.
I would
Stop.
like
Okay,
to walk closer
okay,
towards
so-
the Stone Dome.
Skirting wise,
I
you've
want to
got
know
Rogue
what's
and Bob
got
kind
to
of
do with this.
Rogue and Bob kind of taking the lead. Roxanne kind of hanging back and looting some bodies and going through pockets and stuff, and then catching back up. Otherwise, keeping within
Well, actually,
eyesight of each other and stuff.
I have a good thing I want to know. If there was like any like official building, like as if like the
It's the Stone Dome.
the Stone Dome is where like the capital would be.
Does it look like there's like a main road that leads to it? Yes.
No,
Does it look like that main road is long since frozen over? Yes. Like the main road of this city skirted along the coast and then curved up in 2 areas and follows up to this stone dome.
Yeah, I don't think they would have any books or written documents stating what they were doing. That's what I wanted to
If
know.
they have, they seem like most of them have long since disintegrated. I will say, as you are kind of searching through bodies and stuff, you guys get closer and closer to this dome, which was initially like 1.5 miles away from you. You start to walk towards it, and over the course of the next half hour or so, you feel like there were buildings here, but there aren't anymore. There was, as you're getting closer, some sort of blast that came from this area that has fully like removed buildings from the ground and just thrown them. You find in places those similar, the like cylinders of ice that have happened when like spells were cast or like when important emotions were shared and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those like cylinders, you find crushed pieces of ice that are just like scattered and falling on the ground in different places that look like they're at one point cylinders of things, like people casted spells or had some sort of extremely emotional moment that was frozen in time here. And some of them, if you touch them, you get just a sudden, oh shit, and like that noise just goes through your head for a second as you pick up a piece of a cylinder. You get the feeling something big happened here a long time ago, and you are just walking towards
As
it
if
now.
they were trying to access magic and accidentally opened the ice plane, freezing it over.
Who knows? Who knows what happened
Oh, who
here?
knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe
If we
it was
see
a
one of these
nuclear
elemental spires, like, as long as we can find one of those and get it back, like,
You guys would not remember the elemental spires are like staff sized, or at least can be carved down to staff sized.
okay.
I assumed by spire you meant tower.
The like
collapsible tower.
only like Albra had found one of them before and had turned it into her staff.
Free magic
So
staff.
All right, so there's a good there's a possibility there could be one in Stone Dome. Or Stone
yeah,
Dome.
there's a possibility of something
Stone.
like
As
that.
if there was an epicenter
Stone
of them trying to summon
and
some
all
sort
of you-
ice creature.
All of you make your way up through this long
Not
dead
staff,
city
some ice creature.
towards this stone
Ice
structure,
dungeon, ice
and
dungeon.
you are approaching it. I think the easiest way to do this is with a battle map.
Ice dungeon, ice dungeon, ice dungeon, ice
Let's
dungeon,
do
ice
ice
dungeon,
dungeon.
ice dungeon, ice dungeon.
Everybody get in here.
Ice dungeon.
You guys walk up to
Robots
this massive.
in the ice.
As you get close to it, it's in essence it's a dome, but it's not necessarily like spherical on all sides. There are parts of it that are dome. There are parts of it that are like long oblong pieces of rock. As you get closer to it, you can see it is almost there's like a large crack in the center of it, like something broke free of it at like the loosest, weakest point, which seems to kind of align with like the like along the road almost. Whether that's important or not, you're not really sure. But as you come up to this area, you can see. So this goes all the way up into the sky, probably a good 50 feet tall. Just along the side of the mountain, and it is just this long stretching wall of stone that just goes all the way around the area you're looking into. And you walk up and sort of look into it to see on the inside of it. It is completely dark on the inside because the sun can't really reach into it, and it's starting to get dark outside now. You are just barely a half hour away from the sun being fully set in the sky and it being completely dark.
Adventure awaits!
Adventures
You
out
look
there.
into this area to see this large dark structure of still more fully like toppled over debris of what was once houses.
Adventure awaits!
Jesus Christ,
oh my
stop
God.
sprinting forward.
You step into
She's
this
so
dome
fast.
as well and instantly notice the like
Like a
the magic
battleground?
of the area that's like trying to freeze you over and stuff is you feel it's slightly abjured here. There is a sudden
Like we hit-
lifting of some of that stress of cold and psychic
Almost
energy.
as if
It's
we
not
hit
gone
the
completely, but
as hit the eye of the storm.
maybe an eye of a storm, maybe there's
An
abjured magic here.
epicenter.
You're not certain, but there's definitely something. And as you are stepping through here and looking around, you can see this was at some point like a section of a town. There are like buildings that are fully destroyed. There are these like unlike anywhere else you've seen, there are these like small ice covered almost plant ice mixture like bits of bushes growing out with these little red berries on them. And then there are, of course, up as you get closer to it, you can see there is this dome kind of partially goes into the mountain. You can now see, and where it meets with the icy side of the mountain with these icy covered rocks, there is long destroyed, ruins almost of like a cathedral that's been partially carved into the side of this mountain.
Ice dungeon, ice dungeon, ice dungeon.
And most of it is iced over on all directions. This blue haze, making it pretty much impossible to see what was at one point must have been this large structure, is now just covered over.
Ice dungeon, ice dungeon, ice dungeon.
Is that just what Roxanne's saying over and over again in response to any sort of stimuli?
It basically is.
Ice dungeon, ice dungeon, ice dungeon.
Anything you're doing out here, it is getting... I will remind you, it is getting late. You are welcome to go in. You are welcome to otherwise not. I also think, rather specifically, Rogue, what's going on in your head as you're walking into this place and looking around? You can see, again, just this sudden, respite, this sudden quiet compared to before, where it's just now just this low, kind of continuous hum of different whispers kind of coming into your consciousness and leaving them that you've almost gotten used to over the last couple of days. And
Man, it's fucking cold in here.
Yes, just this full
It do be.
darkness. You can see you're
Trying my
because
best
of this
to not listen to them and focus
because
on
of
other things.
this domed area, because of its dome structure. Every little whisper, every little noise, every footstep into the ice that cracks through and kind of hits the stone and ice under you. And Roxanne kind of just whispering ice dungeon to herself as she kind of marches towards this large cathedral door. Humming, chanting to herself.
Like a little kid who
you can hear just this back and forth, just chiming and echoing off of the walls around you.
Ice dungeon, ice dungeon, ice dungeon.
Well, Rogue, what do you think?
I think it might be... It can't be that much colder in there. And we can have a fire in there, right?
We can have a fire anywhere.
Yeah. I was more thinking your thoughts on us following Roxanne to our inevitable demise.
I've come this far.
Fine.
You know what? Fuck it. You're right, Rogue.
If we die here, it just so happens we die here.
You guys kind of brush in past bushes and through this rod of different destroyed buildings and stuff, over some fallen planks, and make your way up to this large cathedral door.
Ice door, ice door, ice door.
It's a door. It's
I
a
push
big,
it open. I pull it
sort of
open.
frozen. You kind of push and pull on it. It's both frozen over and locked.
Well, don't care. Take out hammer. It's going down. It's going timber.
Okay. So Roxanne, you begin to sort of work your way on this door. I think
13 to hit.
Yeah, you hit into the door. Don't worry, you're working your way on the door. I think there's something that kind of happens here as well that I think will probably be helpful as well. So Roxanne,
8
you kind
damage.
of begin to work on the door. Yeah. You are I promise you're hammering away at it.
Yeah, just
With
chill.
blade.
So Rogue, as you are getting closer to this building, you sort of remember that welling sense of both protection, of matronly energy, of being brought back out of the storm, as if you were either coming home or otherwise ending a long journey that you had felt when you had been almost frozen in place. That feeling kind of returns to you. You get the sense there's a presence here that is aware of you in a way.
Rogue's gonna once again push that to the back of his mind and prepare himself in case of whatever hears this. So
Oh,
being
fuck.
very vigilant of what's behind us as well.
Okay.
I'm going to walk a bit behind us in case anything comes up. I want to be able to deal with it.
Tegan's the chosen one.
He is sea touched, and you are in a
We're in ice.
formerly-
This ain't the sea.
you are in sort of a formerly
I'm
sea
out of my
village,
element here.
You know.
You want to talk about being out of your element? I'm in a frozen place, apparently on fire.
Rogue, you walk back, brush past through all these different like bushes of these weirdly evolved plants, and over back the different like clanging bits of wood, kind of the snapping of different things echoing through the room, still feeling this ever-present just like presence, I guess.
Bob is going to send Bear back with Rogue to help him keep
Okay.
lookout.
Bear kind of hops on your shoulder, coils around you. Okay. So, Roxanne, you're working away at this door, just kind of chipping away into the ice and otherwise. You feel after you've chipped into this door quite a bit that the like ice over it and the like natural locks on it are not an issue for you. You feel like you've gotten rid of those. There is some sort of magical energy protecting this door.
Wait, do I have it? Can I?
May I make an Arcana check to determine if there's a way we can magically unlock this door?
Certainly. Make an Arcana check.
Actually, you know what? Your Arcana is probably higher, Nazca. Why don't I give you
If Nazca wants to do it.
advantage? Yeah.
12.
Oh shit, that was.
There is certainly some sort of magical protection on this door. It's definitely like you'd figure there's some sorts of magic that you're not necessarily equipped with right now that could help you if you had like knock or dispel magic or something like that. Like third level lower spell stuff like that can sometimes be used to kind
knock or dispel.
Yeah, so there's a spell knock, which allows you to unlock a magically locked thing, and there's the spell dispel magic, which allows you to remove magic from something. So either of those might help you, or you get the feeling that this magic isn't necessarily trying to keep everyone out. It's some sort of filter.
We have one of these, don't we? Rogue, it's choosing you. It wants you to go through it.
What?
Yeah, water boy.
All right. Well, I will trust you. Somebody watch back here just in case. You made
Can I
a
just
lot
try
of noise,
pushing on it though?
and I'm
before,
scared
like,
a
saying that?
giant monster's
Yeah.
gonna come out of somewhere
guessing it
again.
doesn't-
Bob will take over on watch.
That's
Roxanne, could
probably
you
good.
make
You have
me
like a fucking 600-foot gun
Roxanne,
in your
could you
pocket.
make me a wisdom check? Yeah, as you
Check or
kind of
saving
press
throw?
check.
I think.
Just roll d20 and add your wisdom as you kind
16.
of place your hand on this cold door. 16? Okay. You place your hand on it and you feel this sudden inviting energy, like you've been out at sea for a long time and suddenly you see the lighthouse and are coming back into shore. And the door feels unlocked as Rogue is beginning to walk up the steps.
Does it open?
It doesn't feel locked anymore.
Can I try opening it?
You push on it and this big wood stone door slides open into a long corridor.
Oh, does it actually open? Okay.
I opened it. Can you see?
Yeah, but can we go in?
Yeah, you push it open.
Bob was going to
You
be
step
walking
in, you die.
backwards.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, Bob's going to be
Yep.
walking backwards along with Bear, keeping an eye on the
I'm
rear
gonna hold the
till they're
door open
inside.
for Bob, just to make sure.
Doors
Bob
open. You
walks
kind of
backwards
step
and
in.
bumps into Rogue
Aye.
for a second before shifting to the side.
You got it.
Going inside.
and I'm
Yes,
gonna
the-
Some party confetti on the
I'm
ground.
gonna close
Is
the
all of you
door
going
behind
in?
us just in case, because
Okay,
getting attacked from behind is the worst.
It
closed
locked?
behind you. As you're walking away, you hear that same like locking mechanism, as if the door
I was gonna see if I could use arcane lock to unlock
abjures
it.
itself. Arcane lock is for locking things, not for
Yeah.
unlocking things. But
Do I
yes.
even have
so all of
knock?
you?
Can I even learn knock?
I don't know,
You
but
should be
as
able
all
to
of you
learn
sort of
it.
step into this room, let me give you some descriptions. Let me give you some descriptors.
No, I can't.
So you step down this long hallway of these, what at some point were stone, but are now coated in ice and frozen over and partially destroyed sections of rubbled walls. You can see it opens into this large, almost cathedral room, which it seems like at some point there was probably stuff in this room, but
Kinda looks
it
like a
has
head right
now
now.
all been obliterated, like dashed against the walls and ripped apart. You can see the section here. It's like this door has opened a couple times in the past at some point, because there's sort of a like gradient of like frost and ice that moves through the building and sort of gets lesser and lesser as you get towards this area, where there's sort of a as you can see deeper into the room, there's a left and a right hand turn that go down 2 hallways, and then deeper into this main room you're looking into, you can see on the ground there are bits of like what at some point must have been glass, like bits of stained glass, maybe of like a large window or something that was in parts of this building. But as you're looking around the room, there's no windows anymore, because the room is fully like toppled over in places, and there's just large sections of wall that are kind of pouring out of like with this stone into the room. At the end of this room, there is a large, like a large section of stone that kind of surrounds a pool that kind of pushes forward further into that part of the room, and then again these 2 hallways.
Ah.
I go forward.
Okay.
Left hand path strategy, split the party.
Yeah.
I go forward and look at this pool. See what's
Okay, so let's. Everyone's still within eye contact, at least right this second, within eye shot of each other. So, and definitely within earshot of each other. The room is still mostly quiet, with just that bit of whispering back and forth in your head. Roxanne, you kind of jaunt across the room. You carefully step your way through this broken glass all over the ground.
Can I tell what type of glass
For
it
now.
is?
Yeah, glass is a type of rock. I don't even think you need to roll. It is clearly some sort of like glass that has been stained to be a certain color. So like the way you normally make glass, you take different types of sand, you heat them up a lot, and then they kind of start to flow and move. And if you pour them in the right way, you can, or like blow them in the right way and move them around in a specific speed, you can form them into different structures. These are clearly
like an archaic version of doing.
This is like glass that has been different colors of glass that have been shaped into the correct size and shape, right, and cut so that they could have at some point formed maybe a mural, maybe a design, something in either something somewhere that was glass and looked pretty, but now it's just toppled and covering the ground around you.
This is a rich man's house, and you can tell. Look at that. They had a stained glass thing at one point.
Stained glass windows are interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, especially in an archaic time, it would have been extremely expensive to have that done.
Well, either a lot of hard work goes into it, at least, so.
Yeah, both of you approach up, kind of looking around in this glass and otherwise. As you approach this pool, you can see, firstly, the pool itself, just this kind of deep tealish blue color, and you look across the way to this large, like mural structure carved out of some sort of almost like ivory and stone and these strange materials. You can't exactly tell what they are. Roxanne, if you want to do an expertise stone check, you can.
You already know.
Stone check.
31.
Okay, these different like aqua stones and azurites and like limes and other
Is
types
the
of very
water-
like pearl and other structures that all
Is
kind
it
of like
frozen water
intricately
in
are
front of
formed
it,
together.
or the stone?
This structure here.
No, but that question was: is in front of it frozen water or stone?
The water in front of it, as you're looking
so
into
it
it,
is water.
is not frozen, and you can see more specifically as you look up into this like structure. There is a large, like overshadowing the rest of this structure, tall, like 20 feet tall, of this room, which is it's very dark as you look up, and probably this room was at least 60 feet tall. You can't necessarily see the full ceiling from this angle of the whole room. But this mural that's kind of carved into the wall is there's a tall, like 10 feet off the ground with this intricately designed like fountain side. And then 20-foot tall, there is this man, this beautiful, almost like partially merfolk, partially elven, like fins carved into parts of him. This like merman looking person who's very tall, very stoically looking off into the middle distance, holding this very large, beautiful trident. The trident itself is like covered in these little blue stones on the wall. Some of them seem to have been unfaceted and pulled out of the wall. And maybe they've fallen. You can't really see. The trident itself is also carved into the wall, but it's.
I was gonna say them to rogue, but I didn't really see.
But you can see, and like he's like in the like background almost of this mural.
Oh, this
and then
thing on the wall in front of us.
Yes, this
okay.
mural thing on the wall. This like statue.
I thought you were
on the wall in front
describing like a painting across the wall that was going.
No,
up.
it's like a mural like
statue
carved like a bas relief, like a relief that's carved into and out of the wall almost. So like the background of this thing is this large merman person. The front like foreground is this large like beach and like sloping ocean and like tide and all these different directions that like juts out. And then the like foreground, like the area you're directly looking into, is a like beautiful woman sitting on like the front half of a ship, carved out, and she's like staring off, almost like adventuringly looking off into the distance. And you can see out of the eyes of both the man in the background and this woman in the foreground, they're just like trickling tears of this tealish, bright, still unfrozen water trickling out of them and falling down into this pool directly in front of you.
That's magic, rogue. How the water's not frozen. That, or it could be salt water, which does have a lower freezing temperature than normal water.
How cold is it in here?
It's still very cold in here. Maybe not as cold as before, but still below freezing.
Ah. Okay, so you're probably right. It is either salty or magic.
Can I go
Still
taste
don't
the water?
understand a lot of that magic.
Roxanne, you go up to the water.
Also, since you mentioned us being within eyesight of each other, I feel it's important to mention that by now Bob is no longer within eyesight of either of them.
Yeah, so Bob, you're wandering down this way. I'll go to you, Bob, as Roxanne is doing this.
Yeah,
Roxanne, you kind of step up over and look down into the reflection of yourself in this water. You see yourself back still coated up in cold weather gear. Reach down and kind of take a handful of the water and.
No, I was just gonna put the pinky in and like dab it in.
Okay. It is like deep seawater, briny, green, and warm almost.
Huh. It's seawater, definitely. And it's warm, rogue. Very weird. It's not frozen. Do you think that merman, that's just the trident he's using, do you think that's the ice spire that we're looking for? Not that one specifically, but probably some like ancient revived being that we're probably gonna have to fight of him.
I mean, it does sound a little bit tropey the way you say that. However, if I were to think of it as an ice spire, I don't really think a water god would love. I mean, maybe.
I mean, water
I'm
is
not a
ice.
cold water god. Yeah, but salt
is
water
water.
isn't ice.
I'm at cold temperatures they can be.
Ice is water, technically.
Yeah, ice is water. Voice in my head.
Tell that to the
I
water
suppose
god.
so.
Can I do like any sort of
Tell
check
that to the
see if I can
water and the
tell
ice
what it is?
god.
To tell what the guy is?
That's gonna be a religion check. Yeah.
Alright. Rogue,
And I think as you two are kind of talking to yourselves and stuff,
I
and
was in
kind of
that
thinking
one,
about what you're
okay.
looking at too. Yeah,
I have
I'm
no
gonna go
idea
to
who
Bob
that is.
first, and then we'll
I have
we'll
no
do
idea
that.
who
So-
that
Let's
is.
see what Bob's up to.
Bob, you kind of hang a left as everyone's going in and wander. You slink down this left-hand hallway,
Just
rubble
hearing in the
across
background.
all of the
Yeah,
walls.
not an ice god. I don't
Uh,
really understand what the hell that.
Things. This area is like crumbled down and partially destroyed everywhere. And the end of this hallway, you see a sloping staircase that again hangs another left, and you begin to step down it until you come to, like bits of ice, debris, rock, otherwise toppled parts of this building crumbled down into an almost fully covered section on the ground that's just it's rubble covering this part that's currently blocking your path.
All
Where you
right.
at too, Bob?
How much of it is ice and how much of it is rock?
It's a lot of it is rock. Probably a good eighth of it is ice, but that eighth of it that's ice is like, it almost looks like rock that became ice.
Okay. Well, my main thing is I'm going to try and destabilize it by using the worms welding torch method and just doing create bonfire
Okay.
in the square
So
here, just letting it burn.
I'm gonna say since we are sort of in almost turn based, I am gonna have a like spell casting check to do an evocation spell. But yes, I like the idea. So
spell casting. Oh,
yeah,
are
just
we
to
still in
get
the zone
me
where
used
that's
to the
suppressed?
fact. Yeah, the DC
Alright.
is not as high as if you walked outside of this dome, but there is a DC.
Okay.
And you can keep trying to cast it since it's a cantrip. It just might take a little bit because I want to see how long it takes in between things because there's stuff might happen and I don't know how long it's going to take between them.
Okay.
Plus,
What's the
ice
check?
takes time to melt.
A spellcasting ability check. So roll and add your spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay. Do I have my proficiency bonus as well, or just my modifier?
I believe it's your spellcasting ability modifier is your proficiency plus your charisma.
Okay, so
if
my
I'm not
spell
wrong.
attack then.
What is it? It's if you were trying to counterspell something, it's that thing.
So
Like,
it's your spell. It's your.
It's a
spell
D20
ability
plus your
modifier.
spellcasting ability modifier, which I'm not sure how. I think that might
It should
just
be right
your
next
charisma.
to
Okay.
your-
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's your spellcasting ability modifier, it's just your charisma.
It
then
should
your
if you go
proficiency
to
isn't there.
Yeah.
if you go to spells, it should be at the top.
Yeah,
It says modifier with the plus.
Yeah.
it's that thing.
All right. Let's see then. 13.
Okay, that just barely passes it. So you
Sweet.
conjure up this bonfire in front of you, and the ice around it begins to drip and melt away, revealing
Probably-
little bits.
I'll say it's probably pretty quick because as a cantrip, it does. Let's see.
Yes, it reveals little
Yeah, it does
bits
2d8
and
damage.
opens you up a little
Bob
area in the ice that you can barely see through. But you can kind of finagle your way around and see into. This doesn't end; it's just covered in rubble. There is a hallway that continues this way.
Okay.
I I can't represent that in this medium, but
So can I make my way through it then?
You can clamber your way through it. Sure. Yeah. You kind of push away rocks and otherwise, and slowly pull your way through. You feel like moving through it did take you an action.
Yeah, definitely.
You see down a hallway that goes for about 30 feet before it opens into a like an open, almost like icy cavern.
Huh. Interesting.
And like here, I'll put bear there so you can see what you're looking at. Sorta what you're looking down into. Oh, it won't let me. There. You can
Oh,
sort of see what you're.
okay.
That
So it goes down
hallway
into
kind of
there.
continues and then opens up where bear is.
Ah, well then.
Bear is not there right now. He's next to you, but just so you can see it.
All right, because I gotta check the range on something.
So is it?
Okay, never mind. All right, that's cool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring Bear back. Oh, I can't bring Bear back to me. Oh
I'll
God.
bring-
Oh, thank
I
you.
know he's stuck.
Yeah, so
All right.
that's what you can see down there for now. I will say, no, I think we're good there. I think that's all you'd perceive without
Okay.
spending time to look around.
Yeah, I'm just gonna basically go back and let these guys know what I found, so that they don't think I disappeared into the catacombs, never to return.
Okay.
He became another old Lynn, but an old
Um,
version.
So with that in mind, as Bob, as you walk back down, you can hear Roxanne
And like I
Rogue.
was saying, ice gods can be quite temperamental compared to
Yeah.
water gods.
Hey
But I'm sure
guys.
you've probably
Kind of
read about them.
cold-hearted.
Exactly.
What?
Hey guys.
Hey, what?
Melted my way through to a passage. I'm gonna
Ah.
check it out. You
I
guys
think we-
enjoy your altar. Then you'll
All
start walking back this way.
All right, we'll join you back in a minute.
We'll see you soon.
Try not to die.
What a nice fellow.
Yeah.
Get it?
What an ice fellow.
It's
Anyway, do you
it's
have
a
any
funny
idea who
play on
that guy
words.
is? The guy is standing there. I have no idea.
I don't know. Let me take a big
Let me
long
take a
look
little
at this guy
religion
and
check.
do my little religion check with no plus.
'Cause I got a nat one.
All right,
with
then-
4.
17.
Yeah, you, Rogue, you look up at this and you recognize a rather commonly worshipped in the area you're from figure, Poseidon.
He
The
looks
larger
like-
one. The foreground one is definitely Deep Seychelles again, the matron of
That looks
dolphins,
like
adventurers,
Seychelles
the
and
sea,
Poseidon.
lighthouses, stuff like that. And the background is Poseidon, the god of the sea, travel, earthquakes,
death
you know,
for a while.
for a while,
What
not
I
anymore,
know
but
with a 4 for a
Hmm?
religion check. I rolled a 4 earlier.
you rolled the fourth, that's Poseidon.
Okay. I know what the amulet is, but I have no idea who that is.
Poseidon, Rogue, in fairy tales, is one of the gods that protected the elves when they came out of the Feywild.
Ah. Yeah, Poseidon, at least according to stories I've heard on the seas, protected the elves when they came from the Feywild.
Ah, yes. I think I remember something about that. My brain's a bit foggy.
Probably cold. You got
Frosted
brain
over.
freeze.
Yeah. I need to defrost a bit.
I will say, so Bob begins to wander his way down that way, and you two are looking. I think the best way to go here is with you two first, because I think at some point you're going to hear stuff if Bob does things loudly. I don't know. So I think, yeah, let's see how long you guys would go. Let's see. I'll give you guys a little bit longer. Rogue, I think, yeah, the next thing kind of that would enter your sort of awareness as you're looking at all of this is sort of the like long cast reflection of you and Roxanne in the water, kind of like is swaying a bit from the dripping, the trickling of the tears out of these two figures before you into the water itself. That kind of swaying sort of gives you this like feeling of almost being on a boat again, and there is this almost like calling, like something is trying to like reach you as you're in this place.
How deep do you think that water is in front of it?
I don't know. I actually kind of want to check.
Hey,
Can
hey,
I
hey, geomantic summons. Can you go in there and check out
can
how
I
deep it
look
is?
down how deep it is?
Yes, Rogue make a perception check, and the
I don't
geomantic
like to-
summons kind of.
just
Apart
like
from
to-
it being unable to convey that information to you without like writing it on the wall, which it can technically do.
Yeah.
Rogue.
That's gonna be an
perception-
18.
Okay, the geomantic summons kind of
It's 18 feet deep.
descends into the water and begins to like swim around in it and look around. Rogue, this is very, very deep, like 30, 40 feet deep. And you can see as it goes down, there is a slight turn of the water right here, like it curves left and continues deeper.
Huh.
You think there's a path down there?
It's possible.
I think I can at least turn your armor from psychic damage prevention to a water cap thing so you can breathe underneath it if you wanted to go exploring it. I think I could wait, I might be able to make a manta ray thingy.
Not right now. You have to wait an
Well,
hour.
I know, I'd have to take a long rest to change the item.
Yeah.
Um,
If it's uncommon, I believe you can make it.
Well, there's an item list, and
so
I
the
think I
trident
remember
that,
seeing
that's
it.
inlaid, that's just made out of stone, right?
There are like inlaid gems in it, but it's the trident itself is carved.
It's
into
like
the
a
wall.
it's just like a statue.
Yeah, it's a relief on the wall.
Using such big words, I have no idea what you mean.
A bas relief. It is a piece of. It is a sculpture carved into a wall. A bas relief.
Such big words. Where the heck is it? In 6th level, I can make Cloak of the Manta Ray
Okay.
at 6th level.
You are physically capable. Yes.
Yes.
Should we go explore that other offshoot before heading and seeing what Bob's up to?
Yeah. I think we can.
Alright.
If
We
we,
can
want to, we
always
can
come
take
back
like a
there.
long. Yeah, we can take a long rest and like just Manta Ray it down there.
Yes. As far away, your geomantic summons comes back to you as well, and
It conveys me.
There's a bit
It
of
conveys to you.
rubble here. It's gonna take
there's
us a
rubble on the
while.
ground.
It's gonna take us a while
it's
to
just
move
rough
this
terrain.
rubble. Oh,
It's just rough terrain.
I was hoping that
this
we'd
one's
give
just
I
Bob
do
even more
genuinely
time.
love the fact that you guys are just leaving Bob to his own devices and
Look,
There is
ordinary.
I trust you.
There's a still structurally sound enough door that you can't see through it to your left there, and then down the hallway. There's pretty clearly not as structurally sound, still in the darkness, another door blown off its hinge, and then a large piece of rubble in the wall where it looks like this building has just been flattened on that side.
We might
I'm
as
feeling a
well
bit-
check it door for door,
I was.
so we
feeling a
don't
bit
have to
lazy.
come back. So I'll just pull out my.
Is it able
thieves.
to?
I have
Wait.
these tools, right?
No, I'm saying, is
Do
it
I?
like not frozen over?
This door's
I
not
should
fully frozen
definitely
over.
check
It's still
that
intact. You're not
I
certain yet, but you can
I'm
investigate
gonna
it in
pull
some
out
ways
my
if you want.
thieves' tools and see if I can get into a lock. If there is a lock on here, I should ask that first. Is there a lock?
You
Is
said that
there
water
There
no
is no lock on this door. There's no
Okay.
lock on this door.
Could
that you
I
can
try
notice.
opening the door?
Yeah, you push the door open.
There wasn't
Could
any
you
lock.
could you please make me a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, okay, yeah, that I'm pretty good at. I that's fine. This is fine.
You see that water is
14.
magical? It might allow us to.
Okay, rubble and like stained glass and bits that have kind of filled this room kind of like fall out from where they were in the door as you push it open, and kind of like some of them cut into you. You're going to take 1 instead of 2 slashing damage.
Legally, am I allowed to use my reaction to half that to 0?
It halves it to 1. So,
all right.
Minimum 1.
but
You still take some damage, Rogue.
Can I like pat
It
Rogue
doesn't
off
say
as I kill
minimum
him?
1 on uncanny dodge. It just says
well,
it
it rounds
halves
up
the
to
damage.
1. And if a number hurts the players, it rounds up. If it helps the players, it rounds down. That's a useful tool for remembering how the D&D rules work. There's almost no cases where a thing would help the players that rounds up. There's almost no places where it hurts the players that rounds down. That's
Resistance.
I'm not saying it's nice that that's how that is, but that's essentially
Wait, does resistance round up or down? I forget.
resistance is a minimum of 1.
No, but
So
like
it rounds up.
7.5.
In that case, it
damage
would
from-
round down.
Yeah,
from
damage
15 to
rounds down. Doesn't necessarily help the players because resistance almost always applies to non-players. But yeah. But yeah,
Fucking
helpful tools
minimum of
don't
one.
necessarily
My
work.
ass.
Anyway, looking in this room, you can see a very destroyed, collapsed room that was at some point probably like maybe a sleeping quarters.
Well, my
or
cut
something
clothes
with
start
these
to
large.
repair themselves at least.
They do. They definitely do.
It's always nice.
Abjuration.
Rogue, you're kind of
has to make a spell check.
dusting yourself off with Roxanne and like looking around and stuff. Roxanne, as you're like looking out of the corner of your eye, you feel like you see something kind of in like the upper half of your vision move. And we're gonna go to Bob.
Hey.
We'll get back to you, Roxanne, and the others as that's
Movement.
Excellent. Put me in, coach.
So Bob, you've crawled your way. You let the party know you're going this way. You crawl your way back
Pass the
through this
baton to
stone,
Bob now.
and you walk down this hallway.
Yep.
Okay, so you step. Get yourself on
Excellent.
this side, looking into this long hallway of frozen rocks on the wall. You can see this trickling stream that kind of becomes a longer stream looking down. The sides of the walls as you go seem to become more and more stone and less ice along the way until
shit.
eventually there is mostly stone. And as you are stepping down, you can see even the ground stops being covered in frost and starts to just be slick, warm stone that you are stepping on until it is finally warmer and warmer here. As you are stepping forward, you notice the water starts to get ricketier and more trepidatious, to the point where you come to the end of this and you can see just to your right the start of a like rapids, like a waterfall of some kind. You can't see how deep it goes from this angle, but it definitely is like a start of a rapids to your right.
Good thing I got boots of spider climbing. And I just stick myself to the
kind
wall.
of start sticking yourself to the wall. Bob, as you are doing this, I think this is probably about the same amount of time that they've been moving, except I didn't describe everything in as much detail. Bob, you kind of are sticking along the wall and seeing these like rapids collide and cascade down. You hear something behind you as you're kind of walking out of that cold area into this now suddenly warm section.
Okay.
Just like this little like it's like this little almost like chittering like snowflakes or ice or something falling off of walls, but it's out of place, almost like something moved to cause that.
I'm going to try and make a perception check with Bear helping me to see if I can spot it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whoa.
21.
Okay, 21. With that in mind, you start looking around, making a perception check. You see a large number of little icy creatures, no bigger than the ice crystals on the walls, kind of clambering around. I don't even think you can see them here. I'll move you back to about where you heard it.
Oh, there they are. Okay.
You're probably like climbing on the wall, like right here.
Okay.
These little ice creatures climbing along the walls and ceiling that are
It's time to roll for initiative.
moving towards you.
Now hold on.
I think the one issue here is this is probably happening about the same time as something else is happening with the other two.
Yeah.
So
And once I spotted them, I was going to attempt to use my new mind powers to communicate with them and possibly broker a peace.
yeah, so we'll see what goes on with them as we all roll initiative.
Oh, God.
Wait, is that
Rogue
right?
and Roxanne, I think you two are getting surprised by one thing here. But I think it's surprising everyone in the combat, so it's just going to get an extra turn, essentially.
Initiative 2. Okay. 18.
Let me grab the initiative tracker. Boop, baba booey.
Guys, you gotta make sure to use an initiative roller on the astral tabletop.
Mine isn't set up, so I just
Let
roll a
me.
natural
How do I restart
12.
the
Mine is
combat?
set.
Old Lynn is in the combat. Roxanne's at 18.
Where's old Lynn could just be here.
Bob, what you got?
I'm at 18.
18. Rogue, what you got?
12.
Okay. So, let's just start with what happens first. Yeah, I guess we're going back and forth now as this happens, because there's probably going to be noises made because of this. So, this thing has a surprise round on all of you, and also, rather importantly, Rogue, you're dusting yourself off, brushing away the
Ow.
glass and stone that have kind of cut through you
Ooh.
now.
Oh.
Roxanne, you kind of turn around and are looking at that, and out of the corner of your eye, you see just this shifting movement above you, almost like this bluish haze, and then this furry looking structure, this slightly hair covered long, spiny leg descending out of the darkness above you, of the room you were just in, that was too high to notice before, but followed you into this shorter area that you can now see.
Ice
Of
spider,
a
ice spider,
massive
ice spider.
blue and white
Oh, Jesus.
spider that crawls down into your space.
Ice spider,
Uh,
ice spider.
I'm so
Yeah,
fucking glad I'm just dealing with a dozen methods.
Yeah, I'm just gonna not look at the screen for a while. I'd rather be over on the method side.
Should have followed Bob.
In the end, it didn't even matter.
Ice
tried
spider,
so
ice
hard.
spider.
And he's sitting here with the 19 initiative and surprise round.
Oh, no. Oh, that is such a bad time.
At least I still
Rogue.
have reactions.
Rogue, this thing
Wait, do you get reactions on surprise
clambers
rounds?
down.
Do I get a
You
reaction?
do not get a reaction on a surprise round. You do get them. You're off until this thing ends its turn.
Oh, I can react and absorb element? I didn't know that.
You guys are. You gotta look up what they can do, what we can and can't do on a surprise round, actually, because you all have reactions.
Let
So
me
that's
see it
actually,
right here. I'm
the
looking for
surprised condition. You have the
Yeah.
surprised condition for the first round of
Where-
combat.
it doesn't give me the fucking surprise condition in D&D Beyond because D&D Beyond was made by. Okay, I'm not gonna insult the people on D&D Beyond because they're
What?
actually
It's
saints. So.
great.
Surprised condition 5e.
Can iron rusting cold 5e?
If you are surprised, you can't move or take an action on the first turn of combat. You can't take a reaction until that turn ends. A member of a group can be surprised even if the other members aren't.
Okay.
So just no action or reaction.
No action, no react. Okay, so first turn of combat, you got nothing. You
Yep.
get no turn on the first turn of combat, essentially. With that in mind, the face spider clambers and claws its way down on the ceiling, which is 20
Technically,
feet
rules
high.
as written, you can do bonus actions, but
Yeah, but rules is
Yeah.
intended. You don't get to do anything. So it's weird that you'd get to do bonus actions. But
yeah,
yes.
it doesn't mention bonus actions as something
It's
you
done.
can.
Bonus
action.
actions are a stupid thing because they're quantified as a thing under an action, but then they're later specified as a separate thing from actions, which means it's stupid. Anyway, the face spider, this large, blurred creature coming down off the ceiling, leaving behind it just this cloak of web and disgusting material.
Oh, that would make sense why there's web at the end of the aisle.
Looks down at all of you and suddenly phases around, moves forward, and who's he gonna bite?
I would imagine Rogue since he's closer.
Who's he gonna bite? Is it Rogue? He's got you trapped though, and he can. Yeah, Rogue's the one he can hit easiest. So
Like, nothing against Rogue, but I imagine a tiny brain spider would go for the closest enemy.
You don't
Yeah,
know how
tiny
small
brain
its brain
spider.
is. It's bigger than you.
you can see this thing, this blue
Also,
creature
what
with these
battle
white
music?
accents.
Battle music?
Battle music. Do you have it or do you want it?
Want it? I don't remember it.
Intense combat. I send it to you. Here, I'll see if I can get it to play.
You should be able to. I know you should be able to just end play because it was said it finished.
I'm just gonna zoom out. I don't want to look at the spider.
I'm sorry, T.
Tristan was like,
Why
I
you
can't defeat
gotta
him.
do this to
I
me?
can't actually defeat.
You have to fight the
You
spider.
have to defeat me in real
Tristan's
life.
like,
You
I
can't
don't
even
know how to
defeat me in the
beat
game.
Keegan with. Oh, I just realized. Just
You
bring
can
out
see
giant
these
spider.
long, icy whiskers coming off it in every direction. These spiny pieces coming off of its legs, and it runs down and hissing shriek bites at you, Rogue. It
Ouchie.
rolls a 13 to hit you.
Miss.
It bites down at you, and you jump out of the way, and this
Spider.
clambering bits of like stone and ice and rubble just fall off everywhere and kind of smash into its head and otherwise and prevent it from biting into you this time. And you can see the phase spider as it's looking at all of you, sort of shifting, bites at you, and then disappears.
Like it's invisible, or just dug into the wall.
It just fully
just-
like
Or,
phases
you know, in the ethereal plane.
away.
Oh, you're
Nice.
really making me burn that spell slot. Okay.
Baba Booey. Okay.
I think we should go to Bob.
Second turn happens. The turn begins. Unfortunately, I rolled higher than you, so the two of you kind of, I think we should go to Bob, talking around, looking around the room itself. Yeah, nothing right this moment. What does Roxanne do as Rogue looks at her and says that?
What is it? See invisibility. Cast that.
Okay. Can see invisibility see into the ethereal plane?
For the duration, you see invisible creatures and objects as if they were visible, and you can see into the ethereal plane. Ethereal creatures and objects appear
Nice.
ghostly and translucent. So that's why I said you're really making me burn that slot.
Nice. Could you please make me a spellcasting ability check with a DC of 13 to cast your...
/ roll
Yes.
d20 plus 3. Oh my gosh, 11. I hate it here.
Okay,
I hate
Roxanne,
it
you
here.
begin to
I
cast
hate it here.
your spell, and you see as you're casting it, suddenly this column of ice spreading out around you, forming around your eyes and otherwise distracting you for a second before it cracks and falls to the ground. Unfortunately, you do not cast the spell.
I hate it here. Alright,
I hate it here too.
I just pull out my dagger and just ready.
It's kind of the worst. We had to travel for like a week doing absolutely nothing, and now
Only
we
to
can't
get
even use
to a
our
fucking
spells.
spider.
Yeah.
Just the anti-phase spider spells.
Is it?
It's fine.
Well, no, like I can't even use most of my attack spells because they're all evocation.
I'm sorry.
Well, just don't be an evocation mate.
Be a transmutation wizard in the ice plane. That's what we've learned.
They like the transmutation stuff here.
It's only if I have stuff to turn into other stuff,
Okay.
though.
Okay, you
I
can
guess-
command your geomantic summons and stuff, and
Oh, I was gonna do the tattoo, but I guess I'll just pull out my knife and bonus action tell the geomantic summons attack whatever attacks us
okay.
that isn't friendly.
I will make you aware something. Yeah, make an Arcana check actually, Rogue and Roxanne. And Roxanne, if you make it, then you can tell Rogue, and vice versa. So if either of you make this, you'd
13.
okay.
6.
Okay, Roxanne, you think this thing did not necessarily turn invisible? It seemed to have like fully left the same plane of existence, which means it's not interactable with right this second.
I pulled a Yoru and switch dimensions. I don't know if it can attack us. Wait, can stuff attack us in the ethereal plane?
It can't touch you, and you can't touch it while it is in that
So it's
plane.
literally Yoru's ult. Alright, it's like
Yeah,
Yoru's
so
ult from the
it-
game Valorant Rogue. See, he enters a different dimension, which allows him to see into the main one.
Jesse, what
but not
the fuck are you
interact-
talking about?
In other words, you get the feeling it moved somewhere on its turn and is now like
It's
waiting
trying
to
to
ambush
flank
you or
us.
something. Like it didn't hit you and is trying to ambush because it is an ambush
It's
predator.
being a camper and just camping a corner, waiting for us to peek around it. So I have the solution to this, which is easy. I learned this from reading the book Valorant. I'll just flashbang the corner, and they'll be blind, and we go running out, and it won't be able to see us.
Actually, I think your spells wouldn't affect it if it's on the ethereal plane right
Would
now.
it? Would I
Yeah.
know that?
Yes, you know that.
Well, I can still blind it by a light, and it won't be able to see it. Blinding light.
But assuming it doesn't have tremor sense or some nonsense.
I know. It's a giant spider rogue.
It's a giant spider that
There we
teleports
go.
into the
There's-
material plane.
There's the appropriate reaction.
Roxanne realized that this thing is dangerous after thinking through every possible option. I'm sorry, Roxanne.
After every possible option. I just need to hit it once and it'll fucking die.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Wait, wait. This is a.
I'm going to get
I'm
Mage Slayer.
thinking-
You know this now, Tristan. I'm going to get Mage
Element,
Slayer.
Catapult fate. Wait,
Fuck
would
you.
fire? Wait,
I'm
no,
never
this
gonna have you
doesn't-
fight a mage again.
God damn it. This is the only time it's important to have Mage
If I
Slayer.
hit it with a fairy fire, would it show it when it goes in ethereal plane or no?
I don't think so. I think that only reveals.
Can I arcane
invisible.
lock it to this dimension?
No,
Can I earth bind it to the dimension?
you can earthbind it. Unfortunately, its phasing would remove it from the earthbind, and you'd know that.
Can I Maximilia earth grasp it or no?
It's same thing.
Okay, I just wanted to know before I create this plan.
You guys just need to ready actions to attack.
In
if
a
it
moment, you
reappears.
like run through all your spells and realize that you might just be on a I have to attack this thing when I can see it kind of situation.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just ready for it to attack and pull out my knife and tell the geomantic summons to get ready and protect me of rogue for whatever attacks us.
Okay. With that in mind, do any of you make loud noises? I mean, you did yell, "It's a giant spider, rogue."
And I started crying the two out loud.
That
Rogue,
is true.
Rogue, it's a giant spider.
I think
can
with that in
change
mind,
planes.
Bob, as you are looking around and you notice these little icy creatures climbing along the surface is towards you. You hear that echo down the
It's a giant spider.
cavern you've walked through. What are you doing, Bob?
Ha. Well then, are these guys looking aggressive? Do they look like they're posturing to attack, or are they just
They
chilling?
look like they are definitely following you and observing you intently.
Okay. Then Bob's going to take a risk and, using his newly awakened lizard brain, uses the telepathic abilities granted him by awakened mind to talk to.
Yes! This has never gone poorly for me.
For you.
Except for that time where I literally
except
talked the
2 days
methods
ago.
into, like, helping us.
Yeah, this only went poorly
it
for
looks-
me 2 days ago.
It looks like 8, 10, and 3 are all in range. Let me
Yeah.
look at this ability.
And then I used the Frost Blast on your gelatinous cube so it couldn't move, and that was kind
Yeah,
of
you
funny.
can get any. So you establish a psychic connection with them, and if you
Let's
share
see.
any languages with them, you can speak to each other in your head.
Oh, no, actually, the way that this Warlock power works is I can telepathically speak to any creature I can see within 30 feet of me if it understands at least one language. We don't have to share a language, it just has to understand a language.
Is it not? If it understands at least one language, you can speak.
That's the sorcerer version. This is the warlock version, which
It
allows me
all
to talk
makes
to
sense
anybody.
now.
To be
It
fair,
all makes sense now.
to be fair, the telepathy thing you get from sorcerer, you also don't need to speak the same language.
You're wrong.
Actually, I think you do. That was my decision.
I
between
tried
the
to
two.
use
I'm a
the
sorcerer,
sorcerer
but
on-
okay.
No, yours is not from the sorcerer. Yours is from you being a changeling in that, Tegan.
It is?
You have two. You have
I'm
two
a
of it.
changeling?
You can do it twice. You have it's a redundant ability because
To be fair, I think if I take the telepathy feat, I can do it 3 times. Just 3 different voices. in your head.
there's only one problem. It's 1,000 degrees in my room. That's the only problem right now. And
That's why they call him Mr. Fahrenheit.
It's
We'll
because
get
you're
through
in
this
there.
combat, and then you can go hang out outside in the rain, alright?
can I just go open my window?
No.
I'll be right back.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're
Go,
not.
go open your window. It's fine.
All right, now that
fine.
he's gone, we can scheme. So how do you think we should defeat this?
It's so hot.
I mean, I'm gonna make friends with the ice methods, you guys. Like,
Ride
try
them back towards us and kill this fucking spider with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try doing see invisibility again, obviously, so I can see it. Is see invisibility
Okay.
a
I open my window.
one?
Problem solved. What are you doing, Bob? You can talk to them. They share a language with you anyway, so it's fine.
actually, I don't think they do.
They speak Common and they speak Primordial.
Oh,
Bob
all right,
doesn't
well,
speak common.
I'll say, as long as they speak a language, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hello, gentle beings. Nice to meet you. My name's Bob.
We are not gentle.
I mean, it's
Why
more of a
do
title.
you trespass on the sanctity of the Ice in One?
Well, honestly, I didn't know this was a holy site. My apologies. I passed through the door back there from the hallway. I thought it would be fine to continue since I hadn't seen anybody yet.
What are your intentions with the spire?
Well, honestly, someone is looking for one, and so like we're just scouting. I wasn't really planning on taking anything, or like I'm just looking around trying to find stuff. I'm an explorer.
So the way you said that pisses these guys off, and I'm sorry to say it.
Oh, hold on.
Something about the way you said that does actually piss these guys off. You see, they all seem to look at you more angry than before.
Now, hold on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cause any offense. Please, I'm unfamiliar with your culture and the site. Please tell me what misstep I have made, and we can talk it out like civilized beings.
The scaled beasts may not seek the spires. They belong to Cryonax.
Oh, I'm actually not looking for anything for a scaled beast. Funnily enough, I'm actually doing this for my great aunt.
They look confused.
All right, long story short, I used to be a goblin, and then I read a book, and now I'm a lizard folk, but my aunt is actually a goblin.
I'd just like to point out, Bob is also
Make a
attached to the
persuasion check.
wall. Bob is attached to the wall while he's talking to them.
Bob is standing on the wall. He has a
Exactly.
pseudo dragon on his back and is a lizard folk,
with the bagpipe.
but he's not lying.
I'm not lying. No, I'm telling the truth.
Persuasion. Not lying. Persuasion.
29.
They'll look at you. You see the one you're specifically linked
It
with
just
cocks
starts
its head for
nodding.
a second. Cocks his head for a second and says,
Do you serve Cryonax?
Honestly, I don't serve any deity, but I'd be willing to hear about Cryonax.
Well, sit down.
You
Have
may
a cup of
descend
cocoa.
with caution, but only to bear witness to the spire.
and they all
Exactly,
kind
I'm
of-
just here to look.
They all kind of become ice crystals on the wall again as
So-
you speak to them.
Okay, but I do have to go back and help my friends. There's a giant spider upstairs that's causing problems. Is it okay if I come back?
Pass with
The opposite of danger. What's the word for when
Caution.
you're being caution? Yes, that word. It's so hot I can't think words.
It was so
pass
hot.
with caution. There are many beings in this place that cannot be alleviated by the altars.
You know what? Sounds good. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking with you. Again, my name's Bob, and hopefully we'll get to talk more later.
Okay, so you go ahead and run back your probably action and movement speed, so 60
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah, hold on. I need to measure. I forgot we were in initiative there for a second.
You got like 45 right now, so you were there, so you can go here next to this guy.
Okay, so that's as far back as I've made it right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, because I cannot bonus action dash.
You
since
bonus
I'm not a
action
rogue.
talk to them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes. Well, you've
Bob,
avoided.
be careful! It's trying to ambush us!
Yes, with that in mind, Roxanne and Bob go. Behind you, Roxanne, as you are looking around for this thing and realizing it has shifted to another plane for a moment. Rogue and Roxanne, you hear behind you this sort of this
Spider
strange
noises, spider
moaning,
noises.
angry, disgusting, hungry noises from behind you as
Waking.
you see sort of sliding off the side of the wall at the edge of your vision this sort of strange looking, almost like cocoon structure that kind of slops and slaps into the ground. Some sort of like spidery, like cocooned creature that has been here, and then an arm slides out of the cocoon and begins to pull this mummified corpse that has been sucked dry by this spider along the ground towards you.
I knew it wasn't just one spider.
This thing crawls and like climbs and clings along the ground, looking at you two. And as it sees you, it looks out, and you see this creature, and it is literally the scariest fucking. It's disturbing as fuck. Could I have Roxanne make me a wisdom saving throw?
Really? I have to make that when I just
Yes.
decapitated a guy by pulling off his a wisdom
Yep.
saving throw?
The glare of the like eyes poking out of this
Did you say-
cocooned, mummified
Did you say
creature.
wisdom?
Yes, a wisdom saving throw. Are
Not
terrifying.
9.
Would you get
I said
9?
9. Yeah.
9.
I don't have a lot of
Nine.
wisdom
Roxanne.
apparently. Wait, that actually
Uh,
makes sense. I don't
you
have a lot of
feel-
wisdom. I have
You
intelligence.
feel the magical, frightening essence of this creature overcome you, and you are frightened of this creature. Yes, you are frightened of this creature.
Does that mean what?
You can't. You have the frightened condition, so
Oh,
you
okay.
have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while you are within line of sight of this creature, and you can't willingly move closer to this creature.
Well, then
And it is clambering down this hallway, and you see behind it, kind of falling off the walls, these sucked dry, slightly mummified zombie-esque corpses falling off the walls as well.
It's dark in here, right?
Yes, it is pitch black in here.
Sounds great. Oh my
Uh,
god.
they fall off the walls, fall
Just
prone,
throw a
and then all
grenade in
stand
between
up
them all.
and
you
begin
don't
to
think
like
that's what I'm thinking?
I think that's what
begin
you're
to like
thinking.
moan and walk towards all of
Please,
you.
please just make it. No. Can you move that other zombie 5
No,
down?
I
like, to the
can't. I
top-
can't. Unfortunately, he
top
can't
of it?
stand there.
There's
That's
a wall.
Can you put him to the back top of zombie 6?
No, I can't. Unfortunately, can't
What
do
can
it.
you do?
Can you put him on top of zombie 6? Just for no
No,
reason.
No, can't
Just
do
no
it.
reason
No,
at all.
No particular reason at all. Just,
Can't be done,
it would just
unfortunately.
make sense.
I
It would
cast
make sense
fireball.
if he happened to be
It
on
would
top
make
of
sense,
zombie
but
6.
unfortunately, I can't do it.
Why?
Can't be
Just
done.
unfortunately can't be done.
Yeah,
You gotta
unfortunately,
take the
it's
good
a
with the
little
bad.
Too, yeah, it's a little too. What did I just add?
And
zombie
Roxanne's
enemies.
daily was to hit
Okay.
7 people with a grenade, not 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Rogue, what are you doing?
Well, it hasn't been my turn.
Did I
though,
start?
so-
I didn't actually start combat. Roxanne, it was your turn. You took your first unfettered turn.
Yeah, I just can't spot I just throw a
You
magic grenade
saved
at
your
them.
action. You saved your action, Roxanne, to stab the phase spider. That's what you did.
Yeah.
And then you command. So, Rogue, what are you doing with your first?
No, what?
You were surprised, Roxanne. So you
And
didn't
then-
get. You only got one of those first 2 turns. The second turn didn't happen.
But then we
you
went
only
to Bob.
Yeah. And now
And-
we're going to Rogue. Rogue hasn't
Oh,
gone a turn
okay.
yet.
Okay, I was really confused on like.
I
what the
haven't
order
gotten a
was.
single turn.
I thought Rogue and I were at the same.
No, Bob and you are
No,
at the
Bob and
same.
you are at the
Bob.
same.
Okay, I misread the name. All right, that makes sense. I'm not tired at all. I swear.
Jesus
All right.
Christ.
So I'm gonna. I guess I'll do my normal rogue thing and bonus action hide.
Don't
You
leave
can
me,
clamber
Rogue.
into the room next to you to hide.
No, I can just flip up my cloak and it lets me hide in any darkness.
That's true. You can. You
I'm
are
just flipping up the
partially
cloak.
chameleonized by the
Where-
icy cloak around
Wait,
you.
actually-
Yes.
All
Where'd
right,
you go, Rogue?
Rogue's gone.
that's gonna be a
Rogue's
20.
gone. He
and then from
disappeared.
behind
Rogue turned
Roxanne.
into an icy stalagmite.
Rogue turned into a
behind you.
pickle.
From
He
behind
pickled
Roxanne, I'm
Rogue.
going to pull back my bow and I'm going to shoot at the mummy that can't see me
Yes.
with advantage. And it's
It
within
can see
8.
you.
I'm
no, you're hidden. Never mind, you're hidden.
Come
I thought you meant it just is dark. No, you're right. You're hidden. You're
Yeah,
good.
I know it's dark.
I don't know how to talk words.
We're all you're all very tired. All right, so that's a plus that, and that's going to be a 25 to hit.
Yeah, hits.
All right, let me get some damage in here. That's going to be 20 damage.
Ooh,
And I will
what
mark
kind of damage?
Just piercing.
Okay.
Magical piercing.
You see you shoot an arrow into him. It doesn't look like it does as much as you would have hoped, but
Yeah,
it definitely
that's what
does.
Look,
Definitely does
alright, I
damage.
don't have any magic. What do you want from me? I also got my magic rapier taken away. So
No, you have it.
I do?
She got an
Yeah.
extra slot
Oh
of
fuck.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got an extra slot, so
Well,
your armor psychic.
I've got that back
and-
now.
I forgot. I thought I told you that. I told you.
Look,
I
We
had
were
like
all
that-
after the session, so
Look,
we were
here's
all
the deal.
okay.
We're all tired.
Yeah,
We're
you have
all
a bag
tired
of
today.
holding, your magic
deal with
rapier,
that.
and your magic clothes. I literally dripped you out.
I'll deal with that another
I mean,
time.
y'all are tired. I'm just in a state of altered consciousness.
You got
With
snake
that in
brain on the mind. All right, and
Rogue,
I
you
don't.
do shoot the mummy though.
Yep, and it does some damage, and that's okay with me. It's not always about killing them in one hit. Sometimes it's just about murder.
It's not always about wine and dining. Sometimes it's just about whining. So what's up now, Rogue?
I feel. Do I think if I walk into this room, I will start taking damage from like the caltrops on the ground?
If you were to run through the stained glass at full speed, yes, we would take damage. You could half movement it to not take damage.
That seems like a good idea, and Roxanne can't take damage from that. Like I could just go around, and I can just like walk in here and get myself some distance, and Roxanne can just like put the face by it.
Rogue, we
Roxanne's
have
got-
no idea what the spider is
Okay,
yet.
so that's gonna be 5 to step on the door, and then 15,
50.
25.
Okay, you step into this shattered and broken down room.
Roxanne's got this.
Roxanne's got this. Is that your turn?
That's gonna be my turn. That's action, bonus action,
Okay.
and movement.
Just a few
With your turn ending, that brings us back around. Roxanne, you are looking at this mummy that you are terrified of, and these zombies clambering towards you. And behind you,
Oh no!
You get to attack now because you
you do
saved your
get to
action
attack
for
it
that.
because it appeared. You did save your action, so you get to attack it.
Not
your
booming
geomantic
blade,
summons
just
is-
normal.
Just a normal attack. Yeah.
Okay.
You have disadvantage because you can see the mummy.
Actually, if
I'm
she's
gonna-
turned around, she cannot.
It's still within line of sight, even if it's like if she can see it. Like if I click on her, I can see it. That's how the mechanic works. I know I said you can close your eyes, but then you'd also have disadvantage. Also, I'm just gonna say your geomantic summons was here, and it gets to attack as well because this spider's massive, so it's close enough that your geomantic summons can attack.
All right. Then the geomantic summon's just normal. I got a 6
Yeah.
to attack.
You,
That was
you
me.
You unfortunately don't hit. You hit its. It like just
I would
clangs
imagine
your
I'm
knife
just
away.
scared.
Yeah, you're kind of surrounded a little bit. It clangs your knife away with one of its claws, and is now bearing down upon you, hissing. Your geomantic summons though goes at it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what it is.
I think it's a D4.
It's a
What type
D20
is it?
plus
Is it a
4.
knife? Yeah.
It's 7 to attack.
Okay, so unfortunately that doesn't hit either. As you're clambering around, it just clangs your geomantic summons into the wall next to you, and it goes to bite down into you. You can hear this. Almost like Daffy Duck. That's going to be a 19 to hit
Yeah,
you.
it hit.
Okay. It bites down, onto your fleshy self. You're gonna take 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
And could you make me a Constitution saving throw?
20 unnatural.
Okay, so you succeed. You're gonna go ahead and take 18, reduced to 9 poison damage.
Can I
As you
absorb
see-
element that?
Okay, can you absorb elements poison damage?
It's
I don't
elemental.
remember.
That's actually wait. That's a good.
You should check the spell though.
Absorb elements.
It's
I don't remember. It
acid.
might,
Oh no, it's
it might not.
acid. It's acid. Acid isn't poison damage, right?
No, they're different.
Yeah, different
Okay.
types.
No, it's not. Then never mind. It's not poison then.
Okay, so you're gonna take 9 poison damage because you succeeded though.
So 9 plus 5, so 11.
9 plus 7. 7
9 plus
piercing,
7.
9
9
poison.
plus 7. That'd be 16, right?
16. Yep.
Oh, I'm only at 40 HP. Oh, boohoo.
Damn. Only.
Oh my god.
Only at
Acid,
40, that's-
cold, fire,
Only at
lightning, or
40.
thunder. So yeah, not poison.
Yeah, that spell is one of those where it's like it's got a long list, so I always have to check which ones it can and can't do.
It's a
Okay.
weird boy. It's a weird boy. You
Well,
know?
it reappeared itself after having hoped you guys would come clambering out into the open space and it could web you up, but nope. So, Roxanne,
Well, revealed its plan. So it didn't phase out. It's still there.
it phased in.
So it didn't phase out after its
Nope.
turn.
It
So it
used
needs-
its. It needs to do something to phase in and out, right? So it's using
Okay.
some sort of either bonus action or whatever to do it.
I don't know what I would like in the mental, cause like I could throw a smoke here and just block the vision of like the mummy from me. That would
Could
work,
do
right?
that. That would
Yeah.
block vision.
You could just
But also
succeed
this
on the
giant
frighten check.
spider right here.
Just succeed on the frighten check. It's not that hard.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
when do you get to make that frightened check?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You are frightened until the end of the mummy's next turn. No save for you.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Let me see. I'd probably be something with the
I
magic
said you're
spell.
panicking.
Well, I definitely
What
would
you
let my
doing?
geomantic summons
Just-
attack.
Checking.
Okay, so your geomantic summons is still attacking the face spider. That actually is you already commanded it to, yeah, so it's gonna go for it.
9.
Unfortunately,
Does it get
misses,
advantage
but-
since I'm no, I'm next to it.
Nope, it don't got no advantage. This thing's on the ceiling.
Oh. Wait, so how far away is the spider then?
So the spider, the room itself is like 18 feet tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 3.5 squares tall. So it's kind of iffy on how to do it. The spider is like 10 feet, and it's reaching down its legs. So you can hit it, and it can hit you where it is, essentially. So it's on the
Oh.
ceiling, kind
could
of
I
like
put my-
clambering in. Like it's long enough that its legs are kind of holding it on the 2 walls. So it's like hanging partially from the ceiling, partially on the walls.
Okay, so I
like
could
bearing
have
down on
my
the 2 of you.
I could bonus action tell my geomantic summon to get behind it, right?
You
like-
could move it. Yeah, if you wanted to move it up here.
Pretty
so
much
it's
just
it.
behind it.
Yeah,
Right?
you move it up first so it has advantage. Yeah, go.
Yeah, so
You can, I'll give you 1 reroll since now. it
Oh,
has
is
advantage.
flanking a thing?
Yes.
I didn't think it was for 5th.
I still got a 7
Flanking
with
is
it. What
a-
the heck?
Flanking
did it.
is optional rule in 5th, and I give
Okay.
it because yeah.
I mean, it's a knife and it just fly around.
Yep.
Which
So that's okay. Unfortunately, you rolled low, but aside from that, yeah.
yeah, but now
Um,
I just have normal attack for attacking it, right?
Yes, you are now flanking it, so
dagger.
your attacks are now normal.
All right, then I just normal attack it with booming blade as well.
Okay. You're gonna boom and blade this boy.
24 to what? Oh, 24 to hit.
Yes, that hits. Did you roll a 19?
Yeah.
Nice.
My brain
You hit his
stopped
butt.
for a
Fuck it
second.
up.
It's like, how did I get a 24? I thought it was +3. Oh no, I read it wrong. It was +5 for the dagger.
So, you hit. You get your
It's
I
just
believe it's
piercing.
1d8
Yeah,
extra now. Are you level 5 now? Yeah.
I'm
So you're gonna
past level
deal-
5. So it's 2d8.
You're level 6?
Yeah, I'm level 6.
Yeah, so you deal 1d8 now. Extra thunder damage.
So I would just roll 2d8.
In addition to your knife, well, you roll. So, the way the spell works, you roll your knife damage, and
Yeah.
then you deal 1d8 thunder damage. And then if it moves, you deal 2d8 additional thunder damage.
Would the booming blade effect leave if it goes to ethereal plane? That's
If it moves on the ethereal plane, it'll still get booming
Okay.
bladed. Yeah.
that's actually pretty useful.
So you deal 1d4 plus your strength or plus your dex modifier
yeah,
plus
I got it.
1d8 now.
Oh, it's 1d8 now?
I'm pretty
And then
sure.
Oh wait, with the burning spell casting makes on
Read
a hit,
at the end of the spell, it'll explain what
the spell
upper
damage
levels are.
increases when you reach certain levels. At 5th level, the melee attack deals an extra 1d8 thunder damage to the target on a hit, and the damage the target takes for moving increases by 2d8.
Yes, so
Both
you're gonna have 1d8 now and 2d8 if it.
Oh
moves.
no, it increases to 2d8. Okay, so what? Deals an extra 1d.
Yeah, so I believe that means you're gonna get a. You should have a what a. I believe you have a d4 plus a d8 plus 2.
Okay, so yeah. Oh no, I see. It's 2d8s for damage, 11th and 3d8
yeah, so
for.
the
Okay,
2d
so
yeah.
it would be
So right now,
1d8 for
You
damage.
deal 1d8 right now and then 2d8 if it moves. So if it moves,
Okay, I hit the
we'll
wrong
do
button.
that.
Yeah, if it moves, it deals 2d8.
Hit me with what it does.
8 plus 5, so
Well,
it's 8 plus 5, whatever that is.
13.
13.
Yeah, okay, that is the number
Okay.
I thought, but I wasn't for sure. My brain like froze for a second. Actually, I think I was 1 from max damage.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. You stab into this thing and it shrieks at you. This disturbing, icy, clambering noise that kind of shakes the walls and little bits of ice break off the walls. You definitely hear shrieking now, Bob, from where you are. Roxanne, that's going to be your go. Bob.
And yeah,
All
I
right,
use
give me a
bonus
second.
action until the geometric summon to flank. And it still has the order to kill anything.
Yeah, it's still
Okay.
attacking the face
One.
better, yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, that's my turn.
Very
Bob be
effective.
running.
It's like heavily panting as he
Yes. With that
runs
in
his way
mind,
down the tunnel.
The mummy stands up, so he only goes 10 this round. 10. Looks at you, Roxanne, still, and I'm going to need you to make another saving throw, another wisdom save.
Not 20.
Okay. You snap out of the frightened and are now immune to being frightened by this guy.
Oh, I'm immune to it.
Yeah, you figured out that he's not that scary.
His
But he's
penis
still
is small,
very
so
He
it's not that
dashes
scary.
at you. Okay,
You ain't nothing but a bitch, mommy.
5, 10, 15, 20. Dash 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. Dash 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, these guys can all get
Pretty much there.
5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh, why would they all corner up in a claustrophobic
They're
area?
just zombies. They're just crawling towards you.
crawling.
They want to eat your face.
They're crawling, clambering, and otherwise clopping towards you. You can see all of them as they get towards you. These gaunt, fully like all the organs inside of them have been sucked out and removed. They're just skin and bone, and they're just writhing towards you. Rogue.
It's my turn?
Yes.
Ah, yes. Okay. Well,
Knife his ass.
yeah, I think it's time that I knife his ass. So 10, 15, and I'm gonna knife this face by actually bonus action hide while I'm in there first.
Well,
Okay.
does he also get advantage as well because we're around it? Oh wait, he's hiding.
No,
Never
so
mind.
he's not flanking. You two are flanking. The flanking is the two.
That's gonna
that
be a
are across from
19
each
for
other.
hiding.
Okay, you're hidden.
All right, and now time to fucking stab this guy.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 26.
That hits.
Finally. 1d8 plus 3d6 plus 4. 25 damage. Magical
25
piercing.
damage. Yes.
Oh, don't forget your sword also has a bonus.
You
I got the bonus on this.
stab up into its thorax under its pincers as it's biting at Roxanne, and you manage to stab up into it. What'd you say? 26?
25.
25.
25. Okay. This thing definitely, you see just this spray of this like viscous purplish red blood just pour out of its front, and just the viscera of it starts to just bile out onto the ground. You've hurt this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and if it tries to run, it'll take more damage.
What are you up to now, Rogue?
Well, it's probably gonna use its next turn to slip.
Near?
So I'm going to need to get into a position to where they can't get advantage on me. So I've moved 15, 20, 30.
Okay, you run out into the hallway under it.
Just to keep these zombies at bay so they don't just get around us.
Okay, you're blocking now the movement of the zombies. Good. Okay. It's gonna bring us to this spider that looks around at everyone, looks at Roxanne, who it's already bitten, and at the zombies that it's already sucked the marrow out of. It's going for you again, Roxanne.
Okay.
It attacks with a 23 to hit.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Jesus.
Okay,
Damn.
you can go ahead and take...
Alright, was it again? Constitution
I'm going to need a
saving throw?
Constitution saving throw, and you take 12 piercing damage.
7.
Okay. 12 piercing damage and 15 poison damage.
I'm only at 13 HP?
As this thing
You might want
bites
to
down into you,
disengage
you
and
feel
fly into the room or something.
you feel your like the insides of you starting to like boil and bubble. Like this thing is actively dissolving your insides now, Roxanne.
I'll do that in a minute. Can I arcane lock the poison?
Can I arcane lock the poison? And with that, this thing disappears.
And then do we hear a massive thud?
It knows its bones are all shrivelly. It's not gonna move.
It's a spider. How
Unfortunately.
smart could it be?
It's smart enough to know not to move.
Fucking spiders.
Looks
But
like it
you would
can't ever
figure it probably didn't move from that point.
So we
But
didn't hear
it's
the
now
massive
in the
serial
in
plane?
the ethereal plane. With that in mind, my thing won't load. Roxanne, what are you
Yeah.
doing now as you turn around to see
Do I happen to have any?
Fuck 'em
moaning
up.
and writhing towards you?
1 second. No. I thought I had healing potions on me. I guess I didn't.
I mean, I have one.
I'll say I've got a bunch in my pack, but I'm also going to highly recommend you use your action to disengage so that you can move your full movement away from them without provoking attacks of opportunity.
That might be good. I will not fault you for running. You are low.
Or I was thinking of healing.
I mean,
As I said, I will
are you
not
going to be
fault
able to
you
heal enough for
running.
it to matter when 3 zombies eat your face?
We'll
I thought-
find out.
Like, wait, there's not enough space for 3 zombies to eat. Oh, wait, I see the 3 zombies.
Right now, there's 3 on you.
Yeah, right now there's enough space for 3 zombies to eat your face.
And then they can move back, and 3 more zombies can move up and eat your face.
Um,
That's
Well,
gonna
they're not-
happen, though.
They're not that tactical.
I know
thankfully.
they're not that tactical, but that technically would work.
What are you doing, Roxanne?
Each target hit points maximum current HP increases by 5 for the. No, that doesn't do what I thought. Target hit points increases for an additional 5 for each slot above. Oh, that's if you cast.
If you
it higher.
upcast it, you can do 10 instead of 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Better hurry, you're about to get eaten by zombies.
Yeah.
I'll say I made my recommendation. It's in Nazca's hands now.
Yeah. I feel like I either want to. Wait, that would take an action. Is my
Better
healing?
choose.
No,
He's
I'm
gnawing
just
on your toesies.
I need to know if my thing's a bonus action to heal or not. I don't
What?
remember.
Your stone takes a bonus action to make and then an action to use.
No, the healing stone.
Yeah, it takes a bonus action to make and an action to use.
No, I already have
You
the
already
healing stone.
have it, so it takes an action to heal yourself with it.
Okay, not a bonus action. That's what it was. I guess
So you can bonus action have your geomantic summons attack. And
I was gonna action
could
disengage and then have tell the geomantic just stand here
Okay.
and like
Yep,
attack.
it jumps in the way.
I guess
go ahead. And,
I guess just zombie.
which zombie? Just
Just
normal zombie.
Yeah,
Okay,
just zombie.
go ahead and roll your attack.
It should be the roll d20 plus 4. Not 1, so a 5.
Jesus.
Okay.
This rock cannot
Unfortunately,
do
that
anything.
misses. Just because of nat 1, it auto misses. With that in mind, your
Yeah,
rock,
backed up.
you rock and rolls. Bobbless, what you doing?
Okay, so I'm not sure how long this hallway is between the 2 points.
You look around, and you can see the hallway is the length that it actually is. So you're going back the way you came. Remember, it's an action to move through this doorway. This like clambered
I can't
area.
see that portion right now because I'm not there.
Oh, okay. So 5,
so if
10,
I move-
15, 20,
Just move
25,
right there.
30, 35, 40, 45. It's 45 feet to move here.
Okay, sweet. Oh, God. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, no.
What?
Okay, all right, we're good. Sorry, I had Bob and Bear selected. I need
No,
Bear.
I
though.
moved them. It's okay.
Well, Bear's still in the other room.
Are you leaving Bear there?
No, I want him to come with me.
Yes. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Oh, you had them both selected. Oh, they were different places on my screen
Yeah.
than on yours because you had them both selected, which means when you moved them, they both moved, but when I moved them, only one moved. Okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense now.
All
okay.
right, we good? All right.
Yeah. So you can get here, but you can't go through it till next turn when you use your action to squeeze through it.
That's fine. So yeah, I'll get right here to the passage. Like, hold on,
Okay.
guys, I'm on the way.
You think if I heal spelled them, they would take damage?
I don't know if now's the time. Well, I mean, now might be the time to try it, but I don't know if now's the time to
Be using
say,
our
that
healing
music-
stuff.
using your healing spell.
I'll say that music was
Um,
on point because it captures my feelings about that idea.
Yes. So, 10, 15. You can't move any further.
Yeah, that's
Rogue,
why I put the
please make a-
geomantic summon there.
Rogue, please make a saving throw.
Can I give
wisdom
them
saving throw.
advantage by saying
As it
it's
looks
not
at
that
you and
scary?
you feel the. If you were to do that on your turn as something,
Ah.
I think, but right now it's
12.
it's
Fair enough.
happening. Unfortunately, wait. I think that
Once.
does that succeed? What is it?
I guess I can get.
Yeah, you're good.
um,
Okay. You look at this thing, and
Oh, wait, is this a charm?
this is a frighten.
Does that count as a charm?
No, but you
Okay,
still
good to
succeeded,
know.
so you're fine.
All right, I just wanted
you
to know,
guys are-
because if it was counted as a charm, both me and Nazca
You'd
would
have advantage, but you don't because you don't. Anyway, that's the
All
that's
right.
the mummy's
Well.
mummy's turn because he's stuck behind this pile
Wall
of zombies.
And the zombies are stuck. I
It's
feel like
Rob
really.
Zombie time. Let's see who the zombies
Rob
want to go after.
Zombies.
I'm gonna roll for who they go after.
Can they even go after me?
Yeah. they can
Yes,
attack
this
that,
one
or-
the first zombie
Yeah.
can.
Ah, okay.
However, they are. Two of them are going after geomantic summons. One of them is going after rogue.
All right.
Okay, zombie at rogue first. We got unnatural 20 to hit ya.
All right, that hits.
Okay, you can go ahead and take 7 bludgeoning damage as this thing.
Gonna use my reaction
Slams
to
into
half
you.
it to 3, so I just kind of parry
Cool,
it off
cool.
a bit with my rapier.
Okay, you knock this thing off of you.
I'm so glad we're in complete darkness. You have no idea, Tristan. Makes it so
Oh,
much
yeah.
easier to hide.
And these two zombies are going after the geomantic summons. First one got
me get the
12 to
stat.
hit.
Let me get the stats up.
Second one got a natural 1. I think it has like an 18 AC. So
17.
yeah, so
Damn,
neither of them hit.
nothing.
Okay, they're just clambering at it and not able to move forward. And the rest of them are just kind of like piling up against the backs of the other ones, trying to push in to attack you.
Pile of them? Just kidding.
Rogue.
Bro, just deal
Alright.
with that zombie in front of us. I could probably just nade the rest.
Yep.
Or unless you want to heal me, that would also be beneficial. Whatever you want to do.
I don't.
Also,
I
that
don't
mummy's
be
not
happy.
very scary.
That's more than 6 seconds of talk. I'm gonna stab the zombie in front of me. Actually, bonus action hide. Stab zombie in front of me.
Okay, you turn into an icy stalagmite and then reveal yourself to not be one and stab the zombie.
That's gonna be a 10 to hide. I don't even know if that actually
It's
hides from. Oh, it
I
is.
feel like the zombie
You're
just
hidden.
doesn't have object permanence. It's like, oh my god, she dematerialized
It
into
literally
an iceberg.
doesn't.
Yeah, they don't have an intelligence score. They have no object permanence.
They have
Alright.
3 intelligence and 8 passive
So that's gonna
perception.
be a 14 to hit.
That hits.
All right.
Go ahead and sneak attack this boy.
1d8 plus 3d6 plus 4. 26 damage.
Yeah, and it has to make a 31 DC con save to not die instantly, so it does instantly. It's gone. It's gone. It's a corpse on the ground.
Oh, 31 DC
You
con
just
save to
stab
not
straight
die
through its
instantly.
head, and it just all the parts of it, like you see, like all these parts that were just barely being necrotically held together, just slough onto the ground, just bits laying on the ground. It's gone.
Jesus.
It's not just.
All right, and in order to make sure the mummy can't move towards me, I'm going to move up to here.
Wait, we still have the spider in our spot, just to remind you, Rogue.
Well, yeah, but if that spider comes back, I'll fucking murder it.
Okay.
But
So-
I'm almost dead. It's gonna try to
With
murder
that
me.
in mind,
You should probably put the initiative on a different zombie since you killed the one it was on.
Murder.
that all makes sense now. No, I'm just gonna
probably-
bring it back to life down here. No one can
Look,
stop me.
all right. You need to be able to heal yourself. I can't always be able to heal you, okay?
The
Also,
spider. You don't know what the spider does. Do.
It moves and takes damage and dies.
It doesn't take damage because your turn ended, unfortunately.
Oh,
But
Mm-hmm.
what?
Yeah, only
Glowing
lasts for
Blade
one
only
turn.
lasts till the end of your turn. Yeah, the end of your next turn.
I haven't taken my next turn since it.
You have.
You
Oh
have.
wait, no, I have. Sorry, I forgot.
You take
I
your
forgot.
turn
You
right
go directly
after
after it.
Yeah, I forgot.
You forgore.
Yeah. I
Okay.
forgot.
Roxanne.
Well, I don't know if the spider is here, and it doesn't feel like it. It
It didn't
materialized.
reappear.
So I'm just gonna throw a grenade over here, and I'm guessing the knight.
Or at least
gonna
you didn't
attack
see it
3.
reappear.
Yeah.
Okay. Knife attacks 3. You're throwing a grenade.
Yeah.
What saving throw am I making?
18 to hit with the knife.
It hits.
It does damage. 1d4 plus 1. I did some number weird. Oh, what the heck? Oh,
You
I
did
an
1d4 underscore 1, so 2 damage. Or 5. That's fine.
Five.
Let's
No,
go.
Okay.
Let's go!
5
5
damage.
damage!
And then it's dexterity saving throw against.
Okay. So they all have a -2, so that's good.
Dexterity against
All the zombies,
my
every single
14.
zombie fails. The mummy fails.
So they all, I guess,
Go
you
ahead and
just
roll
want-
your roll your
just one
damage, then they all
damage.
take it.
and it's 2d4 because I'm 5th level.
Yes.
Did I do that right? Yeah, 4 damage.
4. Okay. You can see as this
Oh my God.
splattering of fiery igniting energy sprays into all of them. And the shreds of them go flying all over the walls.
That's my action and bonus action. Yes. I'm using Rogue and my geomantic summons as meat shields.
Like you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the mummy's turn.
Well, Bob, I'm guessing Bob just moves.
Oh yeah, Bob. Bob.
Okay. Yeah, Bob uses his action to go through here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, there we go.
Bob, you you can see just faint movement down that hallway that you had come in.
And the spark,
Just
right?
barely see just faint movement, and then this big like spark of igneous rock spray through the hallway. How far away are you? You used your action, but I don't know if there's any bonus action or anything
Like
you can do. Probably
120.
not, but
There's not
Yeah,
any
just
bonus
that
actions
range.
I can really do unless I want to hide or something. And I don't plan on moving stealthily. So
That's
there's
fair.
there's nothing I can do this round. I think I'll be able to take an action to affect the combat next round.
okay. So I'm gonna have this mummy try to make an athletics check to climb over everybody and get on top of you, Rogue.
All right. Do I have
think
to
that would
make
that be
an
contested?
acrobatics check to contest?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you try to jump out of the way as this mummy kind of clambers over Zombie 5 and tries to get in your space. Go ahead and make me.
So zombie 5 prone
Contesting.
then?
So that's gonna be a 20 for me.
Okay, you jump out of the way, we're gonna say. I don't know how else to do that, because he can get in Zombie 5's space.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think in order to move Rogue, or it would essentially have to be a grapple and then a push.
Yeah, so he's trying
so-
to like move on top of you essentially.
Yeah, but I think since Rogue contested it, he would have been able to shove the mummy off, and the mummy would have ended up in its original
Yeah.
spot.
So I think the mummy will fall back here. You're right. The mummy
Get
will
the
fall
fuck
back here.
Get back,
Uh,
you vile creature!
I think he falls back and the zombie would probably get pushed back though, because he's over top of it. I don't know. Listen, I have a mummy here. He did like action already to try to do stuff, so he's done for the round.
And Rogue is
You
next
just
to
were
attack it.
attacking.
Wait, and
Zombie
like all
three
the...
attacks you, Rogue. Fuck you.
Zombie 3 attacks me.
Yeah, I got a 9 to hit.
It misses.
Zombie, you see a small tear come out of Zombie 3's eye and then freeze solid
This
on
is getting sad.
Rogue, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stab the mummy.
We're gonna bonus action hide first.
I'm gonna bonus action hide first. You're right. That's a good plan. Thank you for that.
You technically don't have to because you have the geomantic summons next to you, but
Yeah, but it doesn't give me advantage.
that's
it just
true.
gives me sneak
It
attack.
just gives you the sneak attack.
So I can bonus action to get advantage. Why won't I?
It's true, it's true.
So that's gonna be a 16 to hide,
You are hidden.
and that's going to be
You turn into a rock and it looks
18
confused.
to hit,
You stab it.
and that's going to be.
Give me that damage. Give me the beat, boss.
19 magic piercing damage.
Yes, magical piercing damage, my favorites. He doesn't look too good anymore. You can see you've stabbed this cocooned boy. This cocooned man. You can see you just
All
stab
right.
him just like bits and flecks of different, like, whatever this like, at some point maybe priestly figure had on him, just like some random like
Priestly?
bits of coin and things fall off of him. He was holding the sacrament when he died, and now he's holding the thing they give you,
Well-
the tithe, when he got cocooned.
Oh,
Just
free
some
money.
gold on him that falls
Yoink.
in the ground.
I use an
Money.
I interaction pick it up.
you pick up 2 gold pieces.
Fuck yeah. All right. Next person's turn.
Next person turn.
It's a spider. Spider does something scary.
The spider looks around this area. Oh, this could be bad.
It's gonna kill me now.
It's gonna
Oh,
run
no.
the fuck away.
It might run the
Hopefully.
fuck away, huh?
I mean, to be fair, we've shown ourselves to be basically impervious to its creatures.
We just
As
body
well
blocked
as
them.
nearly one-shot it.
I think it's pissed. I think it's angry.
It's angry or is it scared? Because I know one thing it should be.
Dead.
Spiders can't
Okay,
feel, right?
It's gonna...
I don't want a
Spiders
moral.
can't-
I don't want a
spiders don't
moral
have
conundrum.
feet.
Can I
want
just
a
quickly
moral
make a spell up
conundrum here.
called the Bane of Arthropods?
I have.
Well,
You're about to taste the power of Bane of Arthropods.
it was
Bye,
hidden
bitch.
because it
Oh,
ran.
no.
It was hidden because it moved up into the catacombs of the topper part and unfazed last time. So this time it comes phasing down. It comes out.
Uh-oh.
It was up on the ceiling out there. So it's gonna
What was its hide score? If I could just.
It's
Ask
not
that.
hidden. It doesn't have advantage.
Okay, just
It
making
was
sure.
hidden up here. It was hidden back here, but it's not hidden anymore because it comes clambering out into the open.
All
So,
right. I'm
Roxanne-
sorry. Can we like talk this up?
It is not allied with those zombies, but it did just roll a natural 20.
Good
For
night.
what?
Roxanne, could you please make me a con save? As it appears behind you and
15.
bites into your back. You do succeed on the poison, but still probably not going to be enough. You're going to go ahead and take
The piercing
6
damage is.
piercing damage.
Oh, wow.
And so here's the problem. You're taking 4d8 times 2 poison damage.
Reduced to
48.
half.
Reduced to half. So you're
4d8.
taking 4d8 reduced to 24 poison damage.
Did it crit Roxanne?
It
It
critted
did.
Roxanne, yeah.
Oh.
Jesus.
So 24 poison damage, Roxanne.
Oh, wow.
Does that reduce you to 0 hit points?
Yes.
Okay.
Shit.
You fall into a deep poisoned sleep
Does that mean anything in
and
particular?
fall paralyzed on the ground, stable, but paralyzed on the ground.
All right.
You are now like stuck to the ground, paralyzed. And this thing like cradles around Roxanne and looks like it's getting ready to phase out.
Well, shit.
So Roxanne, you're not making death saves. That's what I'll clarify. This thing
Okay.
it's saving you to eat later.
Does the geomantic summons go down because of that?
The geomantic summons continues to do the actions that Roxanne commanded it
Didn't I
until it
tell
runs
it
out of
to-
thing. You told it to kill the zombies.
I thought
try
I
to kill
told
zombies.
it. Oh, I thought I said it'd kill anything that tries to attack us.
Well,
Well,
you
the
told it
zombies
to
are different.
flank the phase spider. Okay, if that's the last command you gave it, that's fine. Yeah. Okay.
So would it attack the
I don't remember what.
phase
Well,
spider?
I don't.
It was something.
The
What?
last command you gave it, I remember. Yeah, was something generic. Yeah, so it's got some generic command of.
It was. I was just
of
telling
essentially
you the
defending
movement.
you.
of
It does
moving
what's
its
in your
arm.
best interest, in a general sense, which
Yeah,
is
and it-
almost always just for itself to dodge unless you're in immediate danger. Yeah. So,
So it probably would attack the phase spider on
Bob.
my turn. Well, would the geomantic summon attack the phase spider? That's my
All right.
question. Or would
I
it attack
think
the
your
zombie?
could you have your geomantic summons make a perception check?
Okay. Damn it. 1 second.
Because it's a tiny rock knife flying through the air. I want to see whether or not it would notice you going down, or if it would just be stabbing in, like stabbed into the zombie. or something.
What's perception?
It'll be plus its wisdom score.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, that's -3. Let's roll d20 -3. It's 3.
Okay, I don't think this thing notices that you fall unconscious behind it as it's trying to stab into this zombie. So
Well,
I think
it
it just
has
keeps trying to stab the
blind
zombie.
So
Yeah, I know, but
yeah, I
It
guess.
doesn't
Okay,
know
so that
it's
means
the heat-
I'll roll a damage for the zombie
Yeah.
that or attack.
attack
zombie
that zombie.
I was
Still
saying,
not
has less,
nothing.
has less to do with the sensors and more the processing power.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Roll d20.
it
plus
doesn't have a
4.
whole lot of
12 to hit the
processing
zombie.
power. It's just a
hits the
rock
zombie.
that you put some lightning in,
Let's roll d4
just like every other CPU.
plus
Rock with
1.
lightning.
4 damage.
Okay. It's cutting into this zombie, and it unfortunately
Yeah,
doesn't notice you go down behind it as it cuts. I
So,
mean,
yeah.
I'd say as its turn goes on, like as it stabs into the thing, it then like pulls out and is now looking around the combat and sees, oh, you're down.
Yeah, okay. And then so
Okay,
next round it will come to save me if it can.
Next round it will attempt to save you. Bob!
Okay. Bob runs 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bob, our
5,
savior.
6. All right.
Boblin the Savior. You can
Shoot
Well,
see
don't say that yet
Spider.
because
Dark light
I
in
still
front of
can't
you.
fucking use evocation magic freely here.
not freely, but unfreely.
But the thing,
Unseelie even.
I can see the giant fucking spider in the distance. Correct.
You can see it. It is technically in
Okay.
complete darkness right now because it's what's your vision? 60 feet?
60 feet dark vision.
Yeah, so you
Um,
can see the movement of it, but it's disadvantaged to attack.
Well, good thing I've got spell sniper,
That's true.
so no disadvantage here. Because concealment doesn't matter.
That's
And
true.
so I will attempt to use a firebolt
Okay.
Well, actually, first I'm going to bonus action hide to grant myself advantage.
Hey, it's what we like.
You can bonus action hide, yeah.
I rolled a natural 1. So I don't think I'm
You
hidden.
don't necessarily, you're running and you like slip and you skid across the ground as you try to hide on one of these
Honestly,
flecks on the ground, and then
I've got boots of spider climbing, so more realistically, I kick a piece of rubble and I'm like, son of a bitch!
you stick to the piece of
Okay,
rubble as you're kicking it, and there's just a piece of rock that's like stuck to your toe partially, and it's just like
Robert
you're shortly
sitting
jammed in your
down
toe
and like
it's stuck to your
spinning
foot,
as
and
he
you're just like,
slips. Lizard Bob sitting down and spinning as he slides across ice is like my new greatest mental image.
All right, well, if Weave is in the chat, they may have heard that and may draw it at some point. I don't know. But I will do a normal spell attack for Firebolt then.
Okay. Go ahead and
Hold on, I have to roll my
Yeah.
caster check first to see if it even fucking happens.
Yep. That's true. DC 13 to see if the magic
Okay,
pulls through.
19, so it
You do
goes
it!
through.
Very much magic.
And 26 to hit.
You hit.
Hallelujah.
All right, awesome. Eat a dick, giant spider. All
Yeah,
right,
you
see.
stupid bitch.
It would be nice if you could heal.
Nah.
I'll say I would have, except you weren't. I can't get in range this turn.
Oh,
So
you can't see me. That's fair enough.
yeah. It takes 8 fire damage.
Take 16 fire damage.
Ha ha! Vulnerabilities.
Everything here is vulnerable to fire damage.
Why did you? Okay. Well,
Finish it off, Rogue.
Is your rock fire not? I thought it was piercing. Is your rock spell fire damage?
I don't have fire down damage on it. It would be fire and vulnerability. It doesn't take damage from fire, is what the other one is.
No, Roxanne. Is your like firecracker spell? Is that fire damage or piercing damage? I don't remember.
I think it's a bludgeoning actually. Ignite is 5 feet. What? Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sedimentary. Oh, sorry.
I believe it's
Slashing.
metamorphic. It, like
It's
slashing.
slashing.
Okay. So yeah, I was not wrong. Okay. I was remembering it wasn't fire damage, but the point
No.
is, the face spider and these mummy and zombie are all vulnerable to fire damage. You probably now realize as you are in ice dungeon. With that in mind, the mummy, he's gonna get you.
He's gonna
He's
try.
gonna get you. He reaches out a rotting, disgusting hand and
Don't you
tries
dare.
to clasp onto you.
Don't you dare touch me.
He's trying to touch you, Rogue.
Don't you dare.
He's trying to touch you.
Don't you dare.
That's a 23 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits.
Could you make me a Constitution saving throw?
That I can do.
As this thing grabs onto you and you feel it like
5.
pry. It pries away at your bones. Oh,
I do
dear
not
Lord.
make it.
It rips off a chunk of your flesh and you take 6. You take 6 bludgeoning damage and you're gonna take, oh god, 15 necrotic damage.
Alright, so
Jeez.
I'm gonna half
And-
that, so the 6 becomes 3 and the 15 becomes 7, so that's 10 total
Okay.
damage.
That's good. That's good. You feel the necrotic energy begin to spread and splay through your bones. You feel cursed.
I feel like I should kill this phase spider still. It can deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, we need to.
It's probably gonna phase out and take me with it.
It'll help us to not like.
Yeah.
I can heal Roxanne on my next initiative and get them back up, but only if the spider doesn't take them away.
Rogue.
My turn?
The mummy got you. The zombie's on you, actually. One zombie. Who's he going after? Which one?
The rock did just attack him.
He's going after the rock.
All right,
rolls.
17.
A 13 to hit. He misses. Good for him. The other zombie's literally just clambering as a wall into the ones behind it. Rogue, what's up with you?
I'm
Scooby-Doo.
going to hide.
What's do Scooby-Doo?
That's gonna be a 19 to hide.
Yes.
And then I'm going to move away from the mummy. It can't see me, so it can't make an attack of opportunity.
You fucker!
And then I'm going
Yeah.
to attack the face spider with advantage.
You do that, yeah. You turn into a little.
That's going to be a 20 to hit.
You hit. Kill this bitch.
Fuck yeah, let's end this bitch. I'm going to end this bitch's life. It's going to be 15 damage. That's a really low. Ooh.
How do you want to do the do?
Okay, in stabbing up through its head, its legs, it dies, and so its legs, being hydraulic systems, curl up below it. Because spider legs, if you don't know this, are hydraulic systems.
It falls and leaves a little pillar, creating more difficult terrain around it.
No, it falls and just crushes its legs beneath it.
Just
like all its legs are dead. So if it comes back, it has no legs. Just keep that in mind for the future. Fuck.
The no-leg spider now falls and collapses on the ground, leaving guts and viscera and leg parts all over the ground. I'm gonna say where it is, along with the place you're currently standing on, are all still rough terrain. Yeah.
Yep. And in order to make sure that Roxanne can't be attacked, I'm going to move back here.
Okay.
Risk my life. Gotta be able to take one, you know?
I mean, I gave you cool drib.
Exactly.
Roxanne, you are
saving.
You don't need a death saving throw. You're stable.
Oh, okay.
Because the poison is still seeping through you of this thing.
Okay, and then my geometric summon made its attack on the zombie. Because it realizes the spiders are gone and
gone.
The next imminent threat is probably the zombie in front of it. 17 a hit.
That hits.
2 damage.
Yo!
Better than nothing. Better than nothing.
Yo!
I mean, it's still body blocking.
Once Bob gets here, oh, you all are fucking done for. Bob, do you have any AoE?
Bob, it's your
turn. Once Bob be getting here, you all are be fucking done for. Fuck you.
You're gonna die a second time.
Die a violent death. No.
I don't really have much AoE, unfortunately.
I have AoE, but you're able to revive me.
Actually, I could do Thunderclap and after running up on the side of the wall. But all right. Well, anyway. So Bob continues sprinting like the T-1000, just completely stone-faced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then as a bonus action, I upcast a healing word on Roxanne.
Okay.
Which, full disclosure, is also evocation, because everything useful is evocation.
Everything is evocation.
Literally don't have any evocation spells.
Roxanne
I don't know
has a
what
bunch
you're
of transmutation,
about.
I believe.
I think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, for some reason, healing spells in this game are evocation and not necromancy, so I don't get it.
I have transmutation, conjuration, and illusion.
Healing.
Like,
my
I
healing
don't know what you're
stone
complaining about.
Okay, thank God the spell went through. So, Roxanne, you get 2d4 plus 4. Let me go ahead and roll that after I spend the spell slot. You get 8 hit points back because I rolled it in D&D Beyond by accident. So,
Roxanne, you regain 8 hit points. Yep. Unfortunately, as it happens, you can still feel that poison seeping through your veins, and you still can't get your bones or your flesh or anything to move, as you can feel just this rotted energy. You are paralyzed, but you are alive.
So I can move and do stuff.
That's fine. That's what Lesser Restoration is for.
That is what Lesser Restoration is for.
I have to just fucking get in range first.
I mean, you brought me back, so I no longer have to do anything, and I can also tell
you can just stare. You can be awake when you get eaten by zombies.
I can tell my knife.
You can't talk to your knife. Can you?
If it's mental commands, they can.
Can your knife do mental commands? I think it might be able to. I don't remember.
Can't move or speak. Automatically fail strength and dex, and
either way, it's the mummy's turn.
You can take bonus actions. That's about it.
I can take
but
bonus
you can't
action?
move to do most of the bonus.
So I can't do semantic.
You can't perform do semantic components, but
or verbal,
somatic,
because you also can't speak.
But technically, you can do bonus actions.
And I don't believe you can do material either. You have to do 0. So if you can subtle spell,
You have to pull
Yeah,
something
if
out
you
of
could
your butt.
subtle spell, you could bonus action.
Yeah, you have to be
Oh
a
my
sorcerer
God.
to cast in this
Sorcerer-
situation.
Sorcerers are so fucking cool, though. I love being a sorcerer.
Mummy's gonna try to mum you.
I will
Mumsy.
say the one big differentiating factor.
By the way,
between me picking
Roxanne,
Warlock
it is
and
still your turn, just so you know, because you and Bob go
Yeah.
at the same time, so you can do
Well-
a bonus action and make your
Oh, that's
knife
if you
do
have.
something.
Well,
but it's already done something.
if your
so.
knife can, yeah, your knife. Your
My knife is doing what it.
Your knife
was
do what it
doing.
did. The
It's just
mummy
attacking and
rolled
body
a.
blocking, which is good right now.
The mummy rolled a 13 to hit you, Tegan.
Does not hit. Oh,
Okay, it
oh.
reaches out and you manage to dodge
Oh.
out of the way of it. As you can feel the necrotic energy still pulsing through you from the last hit. And you zombies, who are they going for?
That's a rogue with a knife.
Still going for the knife.
Still a 17
Okay.
to hit.
Thank the
It
water
rolled a
gods above.
21 to hit it, so
All right.
it hits the knife. And it
Oh.
deals
Why is my knife at
5 bludgeoning damage to the knife.
Oh,
I'm
that's
doing
still
crab
the same.
hands right now.
That's still the same amount of damage it was. Didn't heal it up apparently. It should have been at full.
It should be at full HP.
But now it's at 7, like it was,
Yeah.
was before. Which I can't edit it.
It's zombies' turn. Zombies' turn.
You see, this
Rogue.
is why I always bring a sorcerer. Alright. So, I'm gonna hide and attack this mummy, so let's make sure I don't roll a natural 1 on both of these hide checks. That's gonna be a 19.
You're hidden.
It's gonna be a 21.
You hit.
D8 plus 3d6 plus 4. That's gonna be 26 magical piercing damage at it.
How do you want to do this one?
Just straight down the middle. Rapiers have
Carve.
sharp edges.
You carve down this mummy man, and he falls just another corpse on the ground.
Just another corpse in the wall.
Alright.
Okay, Rogue.
And back to waiting for the zombies to walk at me and kill them.
Roxanne, you
I'm not
are
gonna move forward
paralyzed
because
on
then
the
I'll-
ground.
Then
Can I
I'll
let
take
Bob
another.
go first and then my turn?
Yeah, since we're on the
Right.
same
Yeah,
Guys are on
initiative,
the
that's
same, so
perfectly
yeah, you
reasonable.
can just
Yeah.
wait for Bob.
yeah, let's see
Yeah,
Bob. Let's see Bob do.
I'll let Bob go.
All right, Bob
What-
continues
what-
sprinting. 1, 2,
what the
3,
Bob
4,
doing?
5, 6, and then
Oh, this
once.
is the spider's rough terrain. So
Wait,
you
what?
yeah, I
It's a
said
big
that.
spider.
Yeah, it's a big spider.
All
He's a
right,
big
well, you know
squirrel,
what? Then I
technically.
ignore the spider by running up alongside the wall and not.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you
I
fucking
say,
do.
why do you ever
Yeah.
assume I have rough terrain when there's a wall nearby?
No, I just wanted to make sure you could do it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have rough terrain anymore.
The rules.
By the
I
way,
have
on my
spiritual
turn, I
weapons.
interact and pull my arrow out of the mummy.
You know what? You can walk over spiders as if they're not rough terrain because you have spider climb. That's what it's.
It's for climbing spiders.
Boost of spider climbing OP. Anyway, yeah, I hit Roxanne now that I'm within touch range with a lesser restoration. So you are no longer poisoned or paralyzed, Roxanne.
Ooh.
You are cured, Roxanne.
You are still prone.
Lesser
but-
restoration doesn't cost anything, right? I don't understand how spells work.
No, it's just verbal and somatic,
Good. Okay.
No
and it's just an
Material.
action.
No material.
And it's
No material.
abjuration, so I don't think that's a restricted spell class.
You're
here.
not. It's divination, evocation, and conjuration. You're good.
All right. And
Pretty good,
actually, the one cast would only remove one condition, but I'll choose the paralyzed for now.
I
You
don't-
choose the poison
Okay.
because she's only paralyzed because she's poisoned.
Well, fuck it. Fine, the poison then.
Yeah. So you
Well-
pick the poison because it's.
Well, now
yeah.
that I'm back, I
Um,
just throw another
she got-
rock.
I just want to clarify. She got bit by a spider. You know she's poisoned.
Fair.
Like,
Okay.
Yeah. It'd
And
be really obvious that you'd
It's
want to
a
remove
poison that
the poison
causes
because it removes.
paralysis.
Yeah.
Then, as a bonus action, I will go ahead and hit Rogue with some inspiration.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Kill
you
them.
will.
Fuck him up, pirate boy! You get
I
one die
be
6 to your
trying.
next attack roll. Or your next
Your next
D20,
thing you
usually.
choose,
You
yeah.
all just fucking wait till Bob gets here.
Wait, do I still have inspiration? Why have I? Do I ever lose inspiration?
You do
When do
after
you
like
lose it?
10 minutes or something.
Yeah, you do after 10
Okay.
minutes because I don't have the level
Yeah,
that
it's
allows you to
fine.
basically keep it in perpetuity.
Infinite
Roxanne.
inspiration.
Alright,
You're
I
prone,
guess,
but you stand up. What are you doing?
yeah, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Just throw another grenade stone in the middle just to hit them
Yes.
all with
Fuck him
a
up.
dex saving throw.
Dex save. Do 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 do.
14.
Do. It's a dex save of 14.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a -2, so one of them succeeds. It's going to be the second one. So Zombie 4 succeeds. What's the damage?
That's always. I should just always roll
2d4.
damage. Yeah. 6.
Does he take half or does he take none? I think he takes
What?
none because it's a cantrip.
I think it is none.
Does it say-
Each creature. Wait, which one is it? Metamorphic.
You know,
Each
if he
creature
takes-
within 5 feet of the stone must succeed on a dexterity throw or takes 4. Yeah, so if they succeed, they
It's
don't
not
take it.
half on succeed.
Okay, yep, good.
Or then the knife attacks 3.
Yeah.
Fuck it up!
Just
9 to hit.
clambering, shredding. 9 hits.
Roll.
They're zombies.
They're
The-
zombies.
It's
Yeah,
gonna have to
4
take.
plus
It's going to have
1.
to do the con saving
3.
throw.
Yep, 3. Okay. It needs to make a con save to see if it's still alive or not.
What's the
Okay.
save of?
It's 3 plus 5, and
So
it got
8.
it got a big number.
Oh,
It got a 17, so it's still up. Unfortunately, it does fall prone, but it's still there. It's
I mean,
just
every time I hit it with the
cramming
grenade
on the
rock,
ground, reaching around, trying to.
every
trying
time
to
I hit it
grab.
with the grenade, it will just fall. It just so after I whittle these guys down, I will just keep nading them with the rock, and they'll keep falling prone, and then
and
Rogue
then
will just come over and
eventually
just
I'll
stab.
one time stab each of them. So
Yeah.
5 more rounds, and we can end this combat.
Okay.
So, are you wanting to
the
do
zombie. They're
All right,
after you.
guys, I'm gonna try a risky move.
Well, Bob, you just did your turn.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Zombies. okay.
It looks like it was still my turn. My bad. I forgot to.
Oh yeah,
All right.
sorry. Yeah.
All right. Never mind then. So the
It's
zombies
okay.
just.
Zombies. Who are they attacking? Geomantic summons or rogue? Both at the geomantic summons.
Okay.
Okay. I mean,
That's a nat 1 and a 8 to hit. So
17. Yeah.
neither hits.
neither hit.
Some
They're
of
just
this-
clambering at this knife that's flying around. They really want to eat your rocks, Roxanne.
I think they're just more just,
They're
it's
just
something
mad.
flying around, and it's just
Yeah,
like
they
moving.
see literally they see a little
Cope
thing
and
buzzing around in the
seethe
space, and they
zombies,
try to
cope
grab at
and
it.
It's like a
seethe.
fly.
Rogue.
Cope and seethe, zombies. Cope and seethe. And I'm going to do my whole roll. My whole hullabaloo, 26
They have
to
no
hide.
idea.
They don't even
Yeah.
know I exist
so
anymore.
That's a
It's
crit
a-
hide.
Oh, I thought you were critting to hit him. Yeah. Okay,
No.
you're good. You're hidden.
No, I'm hidden. And then
Okay.
so it's gonna be a 26 to hit,
Yeah, that hits.
which because I
Which
have
one are
plus
you
7.
after?
Just zombie 5, because I feel
Okay.
like I can do enough damage to actually just kill him outright.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I can just save the ones that are low on health for the knife to keep making go down prone, so they have to at least get back up.
That and
It
also
doesn't
I
do
can
much,
keep
but-
chipping away with the cantrip.
It happens. It could happen.
Mm-hmm.
What damage?
I'm getting that for you right now. That's going to be 19 damage.
Okay, so he can't possibly roll high enough to survive, so he's gone.
All right.
Or
All
does,
right.
it, does it become a hard terrain for the zombies in front of Rogue? Because
Eventually,
there's
I'm
two,
gonna
there'll
say
be enough
there's a
forces.
bunch of
two
them.
bodies.
There's a bunch of
three
bodies.
bodies
Yeah, I'm gonna
there.
say
Eventually,
This is
there'll
rough
be
right
enough
now. They're
forces
crawling, they're
they'll never
clambering.
have to. They'll never have to do anything.
There's 3 bodies there. I would imagine at some point it comes high enough that it can't even pass it.
Rogue, you stab out. You feel like your muscles atrophying as you reach out and stab into this zombie. Okay.
Goddamn curses.
I throw a rock,
Curses.
dealing damage, so Dex save for
Yep.
all of them. And then I'll just roll damage
They all
intuitively.
fail.
Yep. 6 damage again to all of them. The first
Okay, I'm
one
gonna
has
roll
to do the
con-
check.
I'm gonna roll con save for the one. He fails. Okay, zombie 3's gone.
Even if he succeeded, he would have been prone, and then the knife would have gotten advantage.
Yeah.
Alright, Knife,
and
go
then
up
I
and
guess
fucking
the-
attack him.
Yeah, Knife moves up and attacks 4.
Okay, which ones? They all took 6? Yeah.
Yeah, they all took 6.
Okay.
Moves up, take out 4. So
Eventually- That you
20 to
you saved
hit.
us an entire turn.
That hits.
You saved us an
Whoa.
entire turn by killing one of them.
D4 plus
An entire round.
4 damage.
Cope
Yes.
and seethe zombies.
They're all on the same number of hit points again. How did that happen?
Alright, Bob, your turn.
Bob.
Bob.
All right, yeah,
please
I'm gonna do something
kill him.
risky.
Why? It's literally a
Firebolt.
On the ceiling, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me scoot.
And I'm just
better
gonna,
over
you know,
here.
You can see as you run
Uh,
down just the end of the hallway, just this coated mess of like spider webbing and cocooned corpses that have been like sucked dry.
Fair. And then I'm gonna attempt to use the cantrip Thunderclap.
Yeah, you
The
are.
clap-
thunderclap them
cheeks.
fucking cheeks.
What's their save?
Fuck.
Tom?
Actually, no, the spell doesn't go off because again,
I'm
it's
sorry.
evocation.
He
I'm
clapped his
sorry.
cheeks and it just
It
went
happens.
Out of all fucking schools of magic, you had to pick that one.
Yeah, bards are actually mostly evocation and enchantment. I'm sorry. I
I
didn't
really
pick
need-
it. I didn't
really
pick it. It's
need to piss,
it's
but it's my
canon.
turn.
Anyway, all right, that's my turn, and I can
You
afford
do
to take a
have-
few hits.
Remember, you do have like a bite and the claw and stuff now.
Well, yeah,
not
but I
that
can't
you-
use those as a bonus action for extra attacks,
That's
can
true.
I?
That's true.
Like
it's
that if
only
you have
it's
an
only
action.
an offhand if you do attack with it. You're right.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't make you defeat again. Fuck. I'll do it.
No,
I'll do it.
I-
One of these days I'll do it.
Eventually,
Tokyo.
eventually you'll be the lizard
Yeah.
man you always wanted to be.
I still don't have my lizard shit, but I still got my goblin shit, so I'm using it while I got it.
Yeah.
Use it before you lose it.
Is it
All
the
right.
zombie time?
It's the
Yeah.
zombie time, and they have an extra target now, so they may not try and devour
They
the other
do.
two.
Let's see who they're going. There's people
There's
all
also
around now that
really
they can
rough
try to skirt
way
between
in
stuff.
front
I'm
of
gonna roll
zombie.
for all 4 of you for who they go after.
4.
I mean, I could have been a dick and had bear cast invisibility on me as a bonus action, but
You could have done that.
There's only
Um,
3 that
Cope
they
and
would
seethe
go after.
zombies.
No,
Cope
they
and
can go
seethe.
through the geomantic summon space, sort of. They just, if they choose to attack it, they don't.
Oh.
It's tiny, so they can technically move through its space.
Cope
Uh,
and seethe.
hey, nerds!
So
Got
we
a snack
one
right
at-
here.
We got 1 at Bob, 1 at the summons, and 2 at Rogue. That's
How's
not
it-
how math works. There's only 3 of them. We got 1 at Bob, 1 at the geomantic summons, and 1 at Rogue. That makes
just-
sense. Okay.
Alright, so
One
my-
walks away from you, so you can attack of opportunity if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I will go ahead and do so. I might
Okay.
take the second. I might take as my second mage second feat warcaster, so that I can.
Yeah, we do.
always
Everybody
fun.
can do.
Always
do
fun.
stuff
Bob,
as-
why did you move there? Why? No, I can't.
So let's see. My bite attack is a 1d4, right? Or is it
Your
1d6?
so you're using your strength. All of your attacks are now a 1d4.
Okay.
Your unarmed attacks can be replaced with a 1d4 as a bite or a claw attack.
All right, in that case, I'll just stab his ass with my rapier.
Okay, yeah, that probably makes sense given it uses dex instead of strength. It's just that you have it. It's funny.
19.
You stab him.
Come on.
Does Bear get an attack of opportunity on Zombie too?
No, familiars can't
max
attack.
damage is 12 hit points.
Okay, so he needs to make a con save.
Of how much?
He failed it.
Oh,
Get fucking wrecked, zombie too.
guess
He
I
falls
don't
to the
need to use
ground
my
and on your
reaction.
he falls on your pile.
I
he
got
falls
a
on
bigger
your
pile.
And a zombie 4 is at geomantic summons, zombie 6 is at you, Bob.
Nobody turns their back on Bob.
At the geomantic summons, that's just a 9 to hit, that misses. And
Yeah.
at Bob, you got a 14 to hit.
My armor class is 16.
Okay, so he doesn't hit you. You are on the ceiling. You're like, fuck you. You're waving around your rapier,
Wait, if
stabbing
he's on
into
the
them.
ceiling, does that mean if I threw my grenade like underneath him, he wouldn't get affected?
It depends
What is the
entirely
range of
on,
your grenade?
Yeah.
It's should be like the squares around it.
Bob is 1 square above them because he
Yes,
wanted to use
so-
Thunder Wave, so it would hit him.
Yeah, so it
Alright.
would hit me.
But would I get if I yelled the frag out and told like at Bob to like warn him that
Well,
there's
he
a
can
grenade coming,
move
would he get
before you
advantage on the
attack.
dex saving throw?
No, he can just move before
He
you
can move
attack.
on
You're
his
on the
turn
same
before you
turn.
attack, yeah.
Just let me go first, Roxanne, and
Alright,
then
yeah,
we
you
can
can
go from there.
yeah, you
Yeah,
guys go
it's
first.
literally okay. I'll walk forward
They
and
just want to catch the butterfly, and you fuckers
stab
will let
zombie
them.
4.
It's rough terrain. You're just clambering over bodies.
Yeah, I'm like having to fucking clamber over this tower of bodies I've made.
Let's see. There's like 4 in front of you. That's probably like at least 5 feet high.
20.
You hide behind the bodies.
I hide behind the bodies and then I slip
amongst the corpses.
and I slip
Hide
around
Pile of dead bards.
and I get a 15 to hit
You hit.
and then I get to do a nice little.
Just kill them.
I
Unless
get
you
a
roll
nice
minimum
little
hit.
22 damage.
Yeah, he can't roll high enough to survive, so he's gone.
All right, and cope and see the zombie 6. And
Actually, I want to go first. I just want to sit down and pull out like a tiny juice box and start sipping away and have my summons just go after
having
the
my
last zombie.
juicy,
Okay.
me
Bob and the
when I'm
summons going at
sipping
it
my
together?
juice.
Yeah.
Me when
Okay.
I'm sipping my
Bob,
juice.
you want to stab it too? What's up with you?
I
Seven
was
to
actually
hit.
the bonus action disengage and move 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
and then slap it with a
We'll bear
firebolt.
with you. Okay.
I hit it with a rock too while he's just there, so he gets
What's
double
your
hit.
attack? What's your to hit with the geometric summons?
7.
Taco.
It just barely misses. How did you manage?
Taco.
This spell goes through.
You got the spell off. Let's go.
I would also like to
finally.
just also at the same time, since we're on the same turn,
11.
throw.
Does 11 hit?
11 hits.
It does.
I would also like to throw the rock to a grenade rock at it, so it gets like
Let's just
hits
see
with the
if it's dead.
fireball and
Yeah, you do.
and the explosive rock at the same time. Would that increase the
Is that
damage it takes?
Well, he just did 26 fire damage to it, so
Yeah.
it's
It's
Okay.
It's
dead.
toast.
Yeah,
it's
dead.
dead.
there's just a big
This guy's
crackling
toast.
explosion of everything around as this one
Yeah.
dies.
This guy's toast.
And that's why
Okay.
the rock misses because the body.
There's a
just
crackling
disappears.
explosion. There's this chain of like different coins and stuff that were on the mummy as he died. That
And the
that fall
rock
to the
just
ground.
swings
Some of them
at
had,
it.
some of them seem to have had money on them that clings to the ground stuff. If you want to
Be
go
back
to
of
the
money.
corpses.
Yeah, I'd like to search the spider actually.
Could
And, like
we,
cut it open and see if it has anything useful.
like kind of end off here and just do
I
last
think.
stuff? It has
well,
been.
I
You are
kinda
out
just-
of combat,
I kind of just want to
so
end.
that's something.
I
here
need
and,
to
like-
go piss really badly.
Oh,
So
we
I'll
we
be
haven't
haven't
right
taken
back.
our we haven't taken our break yet.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
break
it's fine.
time
Well,
we can
it's
talk
10
about
though,
stuff,
so we're done.
and we can
Okay.
be done.
So
We can take like 15
we're done
minutes.
in 13 minutes anyway.
We can
Okay.
take
We
like
wanna-
13 minutes and just hang out and talk. I need to piss.
It's your
well,
piss.
I
You can
just
go
would
piss.
like. I just would like to investigate everything, like the spider.
Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Hold
What's
on.
Bob
Before
doing?
Roxanne
Yes.
fucking does anything, either Roxanne's
Yes.
going to use their healing stones or Bob's going to heal them up using pact spells.
Actually, I can just like constantly just keep healing up using.
It's every
the
10 minutes you can give yourself the. But
magic
remember that
stone.
makes 10 minutes go by.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
I guess
Well-
I'll just use one magic stone now. Then as we like do stuff, I can do it later.
Well, I'll go. Okay, go ahead and use your magic stone, and then I'll roll my healing spells.
8, so I heal 8. So I'm at 16 now.
Okay, and
Out
then
of
I'm going to
53.
roll 2 1d4 plus 4, assuming the spells go off. Let me see here.
Oops, no, that's fine. I can just after I search the bodies, I can just like
You can
Sit
sit
down.
here
We
for the
can
next
probably-
hour and you can ritual cast to heal yourself and short rest.
yeah. That I guess we could
All right,
do.
first
short
one
rest.
goes off, second one doesn't, so you get an additional 10 hit points.
Why did I just type it there?
0. She
Um,
died. Roxanne dies again.
26.
I'll say
All
that
Alright,
just
I'm back.
use my spells for that. So if we take a short rest, I'll actually get those back.
Did you know
Yeah,
that you
if you
can
take a
cast
short rest,
spells?
I can
you can
just-
cast
I can
spells
probably-
through long rest, but not through short rest.
You can
Nothing
what?
say makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. In the last 2 hours while you're on watch, you can cast spells and then regain your spell slots. So if you have
Oh,
like mage
that's
armor,
what
you
you
can
mean.
cast it and still get like 7 hours of it.
Oh, you mean to regain on the long rest like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's a
Right,
warlock,
yeah.
so he's gonna.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but you can't cast spells during a short rest. That counts as heavy activity.
Yeah, no, I was casting them before the short rest.
Yeah, I mean, I'd count it as what kind of spell you're casting, but yeah.
I'm gonna,
if we're talking what Jeremy Crawford says, which we should never
I'm
listen
gonna
to him because he's a
investigate and have
bad
my knife
person.
help me. It's 12.
Why does
Okay.
Jeremy Crawford
Roxanne,
get
you
to
begin to
decide
go
what
through things.
happens?
Cutting
Um,
up the spider. pulling
Oh,
out its
that's-
poison
if you're-
gland
If you're pulling it out and stuff, you're gonna need to make me a medicine check. Then
with advantage because I'm using the knife to cut.
I'm gonna say with disadvantage because it's Are you proficient in medicine?
No.
I'm gonna say disadvantage canceled out by your knife helping you.
All
Because
right.
you aren't
14.
sure what a spider's anatomy is. Okay, 14. So you begin to cut through. You are cutting through this spider. You find in its fangs these big, meaty fangs you cut out.
Big,
You've got those. They
meaty
probably have some sort of poison
claws.
in them.
I could be
You're not
useful
certain it'd
later.
still be produced after it's dead, but
Would there be some inside of it? Still?
there seems like there might be some inside you could try
So
to
you're
milk.
saying I could make poison
I
tipped
think the
arrows
rather
for
important
Rogue?
thing you find is as you're like cutting through this thing's head, you find this like thrumming, like partially ethereal, like kind of partially see-through, almost like mineralized organ of some kind that's like connecting up to parts of like the brain and other places.
I cast Identify on it, I guess.
Okay, you go ahead and that's gonna be a. Oh, I didn't have you roll for the identify last time, but yeah, you got to roll for the casting of the
D20 plus
divination.
18.
You got it. Okay. This is the phase gland, the ethereal gland.
Would I know
The
how to
thing that-
harvest it? So I can
You
use
can
it?
cut it free, but it doesn't like just instantaneously work for you to do things.
No,
with
I know,
it.
but like,
But you feel like if there was some sort of like, it's definitely worth something. You figure.
or if I could turn it into a phase thing of my own.
Yeah, it might work for some sort of like spell.
Yeah, I'd like to
Component or
like
some sort
safely
of
remove it. What would I
magic
write
item.
that down as?
Just write like phase gland from a phase spider in your custom notes.
Phase. I wrote phase as like FAZE.
Phase clan.
I'm gonna
Phase
keep
clan
it.
from a phase spider.
I'm gonna keep that. Phase gland from
Um,
phase spider.
also, after
Okay.
my short rest, I'm going to try and cast a healing spell on Rogue.
So, I think pre-short rest, Roxanne's going through this stuff. So that's probably over the short rest, Roxanne, that you kind of go through stuff.
Yeah, this
Um,
spider. The spider. I don't know if I probably would I be able to get the
Let
zombies
me
and the
roll
mummies
my.
as well.
Let me roll my.
You go through some money and
my-
stuff.
HP stuff before you.
Rogue, do
go.
you?
I've got some hit dice I can use.
Oh,
Well,
do
if
I
this
take-
is what I think it is, nothing might happen.
Rogue, you as the short rest ends,
Also,
you
right
don't
before the
feel
short rest,
any
I'm going
more.
to second wind.
You second wind and you don't feel any more rejuvenated.
Huh. Well, this is a problem.
Because Robert didn't see the mummy initially, so
Huh.
Bob didn't see the mummy, but you see
What
like a
happens when a
cocoon
mummy hits
corpse
you?
on the ground. Could you make a religion check? Probably with advantage because everyone's here's helping you. You think
No,
of
no, no,
good
Rogue,
stuff.
Can
it's actually
someone else
this.
make it?
I can do a religion check. I think mine's decent.
I'm not
Okay.
good at it. I'll give advantage to someone else. I
got a
don't
plus
like
3.
thinking about religion.
I have a +3. I got a 21.
Okay,
Alright.
you're thinking about it. Rogue got hit really hard by the mummy, and you can see like sprawling out of where he was grabbed by it.
the
There is
meat
this.
off the bone that is
Yeah,
currently
there is
not
this
there.
this necrosis, this creeping energy that's just slowly, but visibly creeping across his skin.
Can I arcane lock it and prevent it from spreading?
on an actual try attempt to be helpful note, I'd like to make an Arcana to know if I, or at least provide assistance to Nazca.
Say with
for
a
an
religion
Arcana.
check of 21,
Okay.
you'd know you're going to need at least
24.
a remove curse or some sort of cure of some kind.
8? No,
To-
not 8. Cure? A cure of some
A
sort?
cure, like a brewed potion of removal of mummy rot.
Guidance, light, lightning hand.
God
magic,
damn it,
make
that's
magic.
Algernon. Algernon has those
I'll
fucking
say
potions.
we don't. Do you have access to remove curse, Nazca?
I don't think so. I have cure wounds, but I don't think that would
Nazca,
help.
you think about religion for a little bit. You think about stories you've heard, and you remember.
I have a spell called Protection from Poison. What did I know? Oh, it's
Anyway,
abjuration. Never mind.
Please continue, DM.
You remember the You remember stories of priests removing curses from people in holy places.
Oh, you just want us to throw him in the freaking fountain in front of the statue. All right, come on.
I don't want you to.
Oh, go
You're
with me,
cursed.
Greg.
Come on, Rogue. You were throwing you into the pool.
Why is this happening?
Because some DM voice told me that I need
What
to...
is a DM?
To cure you, we're gonna have to go holy water, holy place. That place looks holy. I drag.
Look,
I drag Rogue and just toss
I'm
him into
willing
it.
to try it. Oh my god!
I just drag him and throw him into it. Story tells
Rogue,
us.
you
Just
fall
fucking pushing
into
me.
this water, and as you hit the water itself, you feel
Oh, you can
again that pulsing matronly presence just overwhelm you for a second.
By the way, I did put on the dolphin charm while
Yeah.
just like while nobody was looking. I just put it on and put it underneath my leather.
Do you think we can do this in 4 minutes, or do you think you're going to need to have your religious experience next time?
I think that's actually a good spot to end off on.
I think we should end off with me not knowing what the fuck is happening and throwing
Okay,
it.
well,
Roxanne
you throw Rogue into the water, and Rogue just fucking starts to sink into the water. Rogue, your eyes roll into the back of your head, and that's where we'll pick up next time.
I was like, gosh dang it!
No, his bubbles actually don't come out of him.
Oh.
He's not breathing. He just falls into the water and begins to sink.
That's worrisome. Okay,
No,
well,
it's fine.
He's just having a religious experience. It's atonement. It's anointment.
Look, it's
It's
water.
not anointment. It's enwonderment.
It's water that isn't frozen in front of a statue, Bob. Come on, it's holy water. It's probably actually like some phase portal. You go through it and you appear on the other side, and it's like a mirror thing.
He's in the mirror dimension.
He's in the mirror dimension. Let's just let him have his experience.
If you die in the mirror dimension, you die in real life, Nazca.
We'll just let him have his religious experience and get cure of that zombie wound while we go clean up
It's
the
fine.
mess.
He did it of his own volition, and he didn't look afraid. His eyes just rolled. His
I
eyes
just called him over and just tossed him in. Just casually, like, I know this is where we're going. All right, let's just get this over.
Rogue's gonna meet the gods.
And I was like, Bob, let's just go finish cleaning up those bodies over there.
well, I mean, I'm not going to leave Rogue to drown, but
Yeah, you can watch. You can watch
Well,
and make sure he's not drowning.
I found someone to raid if we want to do that.
I just walked back to the pile of bodies and stuff and just started.
All right, we might want to stop here because if we keep
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
actions,
yeah.
there's going to be
Who
other
we
stuff that
raiding?
needs to happen right
Who
now.
we raiding?
Orcupine.
You picked up like
It will-
12 gold pieces off the ground and asked you from the zombies. Anyway,
Is that
Where's the name?
ORCUPINE?
I put it in general, yeah.
Orcupine?
All right, I got it. I'm
All right, I'll
starting
write
the
down
raid.
I did as well. Let me also write down. But
Orcupine's a great name.
I'm ready to raid.
you said 12 gold.
I'm
right?
not ready to raid. I
Yes.
have 3 seconds left.
Everybody in the raid, go, go, go!
Go,
All right,
go, go.
seconds left before I can raid.
Oh, I raided because you said go, go, go.
All right, get rated as well.
Oh god! Oh god!